Should all turn our speakers on. That feedback would just be amazing.
Let's do it.
Don't even your speakers, yeah, you're all ears. Reporting life's oddities, fueling your cheers and sneers. No filter,
It's
no
playing the
fear.
song.
Get your
Oh.
daily
A second,
dose
I told you you wouldn't be able to hear it.
Here, sly grin on his face like he's in on the joke. He can hyper.
Welcome to the Don't Eva Podcast, episode 3. My name is Joel Henderson. With me, as always, so far, my wife, Michelle.
Hi.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for that. Also, our guest, Bob Starkey.
Hi.
Yep, no particular intro, just that. That's
Ni
it.
hao.
This
Oh,
is a
sure.
great podcast. Thank you very much for having me.
We're all here. I don't have to wear the headphones anymore. That was all the pleasantries and formalities are over with. So I'm not really sure what this podcast is, but we're here to discuss things like why would we even bother doing this, for example? Why do you bother doing stuff like this, Bob?
Well, I think when I started mine, Dad Bod Walking, I have known of you for a while through Michelle.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Until you said through Michelle. That was
Michelle,
yeah, I was like, that's a little-
your blinds. I just stand
known of you.
in the back of the house. I've known of you. I have. No, jeez. And it's way too early to go dark on
Right.
the podcast.
Give it an hour. The sun will be
Yeah,
down.
give it an hour. I don't know why I do it. I mean, I have some reasons, but there's no goal in mind. And at some point, I just through Michelle, I said we should do a collaboration of
Right.
what we don't know.
Yeah.
We're here right now, and we don't know.
Oh, I know. This morning, I was like, oh, so where are we going to do this podcast? And she's like, no, he's coming to us. I'm like, oh, cool. So am I just like setting up cameras for him to do his thing? And then we're guests. I thought we were guesting on yours. And then she's like, no, he's on our podcast. I'm like, holy shit, we have to do a podcast. Okay.
Yeah, and so on mine, what I end up doing is I bring folks that I've just met through life, and it's in my estimation, you're the pro at this.
I've just done it a bunch. I guess technically that makes me more pro.
Well,
sure.
yes. So I'm going to assume, take no offense, Michelle, but we'll just call you the pro at this.
Okay.
I know nothing about this stuff.
And I think that, in my estimation, there's two different types of podcasts. There's like a 20, 25-minute, 30-minute podcast that folks will kind of scroll through before they go to bed, listen on a quick way to work. And then there's the long format ones that can go on for an hour and a half, 2 hours, your Joe Rogan style 3-hour ones that are
I listen to the Jim Cornette podcast, and it'll go on for 4 hours sometimes.
Yes, and that's
Great.
that's when I'm doing housework
Yeah.
or when I'm doing a long drive to Indy for work. Those are the ones I put on. Mine end up being in the middle of like an hour and a half or so because other than we can start out with, oh hey, I met Michelle through your work with the Town Dyer and some events, and then through your husband. It's like, okay, so what are we doing? And then
Right.
it just goes on because conversation. You started this podcast by saying, whoa, we're starting to burn through some of good content now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we've already been talking pleasantries, so that at some
Yeah,
point
that-
you're going to end up burning through all the fun stories, and then it'll just be like, oh, what are we going to talk about next?
I do have to say, so I've learned a handful of things already coming in here that I don't know what you want to call us, but you do this and you like to change up rooms, and I don't know what you call us. I was fascinated the moment walking up to your house, seeing the Govee lights out there, coming in here, seeing your setup. The entire thing fascinates me. I could spend my evenings just going to different podcast studios and taking a look at what people do.
Well, yeah, we took over our living room tonight. It's not normally the podcast area. We have a 14 by 14 or something like that. That's the
office.
room that's normally.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I feel like we're going to be a little crammed in there, and I don't know how the camera setup's going to work, so we just moved it out here for this one time.
For mine, I have it set up. I have all the equipment set up to have a guest in studio. But I can't get over that idea of, I think we're just going to be cramped.
Yeah.
The way it's set up, we almost be kitty corner to each other. And it's like, that
kind of awkward for a conversation
yes,
sometimes.
Yes, because also
I used to sit like with somebody like we were at a news desk.
Yes.
So it's you're talking like that rather than looking at the camera
well,
or
you
whatever.
either have the news desk, late night vibe to it where you're there, but then also you have so much that you at some point maybe here will pan around and see the whole setup here. You're at the microphone, you're contributing, but you're also producing this whole thing.
Well, somebody's got to switch to the right angles at the right time.
Yeah, I know, right? And I won't talk about right angles. I usually it's like, okay, here we go. Hang on. You were wearing headphones earlier, and I've switched away from headphones because I'm, past 40, so I'm thinning up here. I'm completely jealous of your head of hair, and I notice that when I wear headphones, I look completely just bald. So now I just do in-ear monitors.
I just don't wear hats. That's my only way that I've not lost my hair that I can tell.
Yeah.
I have twin brothers that are 6 years younger than me. Both of them are male pattern balding.
Yeah.
Like badly, and they're way younger than me. It doesn't make any sense. My dad's bald.
I
don't know how the genetics of that all work out.
I don't know if it's like an old wives' tale, but isn't it something like it's your mother's grandfather that you take on?
I heard it was your mother's father. So it's like from the mom's side, did her dad have a good head of hair?
Yeah, no.
So that would explain why but that would only work for me and not for my brothers.
Yeah.
So that falls down unless they're talking about for the first child, and then it reverses after
that.
But you said they always wore hats, right?
Well, they did, but that's my own theory. Like, I wore hats for a little while as a teenager, but then I was just like, I have good hair. So I'm like, I'd rather have my hair look nice
You're
than.
lucky you look young.
Well, maybe that's what's helping me stay young. The fact that my hair hasn't grayed yet.
It could be. Yeah, no, I do. Everybody watching knows, like, are we on, like, a hair podcast? Yes, we are.
Yes.
Brought to you by Tresemme.
La la. Wasn't that Tresemme?
Was it? Yeah.
Was it Tresemme? No.
Oh, no.
Tresemme? Ooh,
Remember, like, L'Oreal kids shampoo?
No.
Well, anyways, it
Johnson &
used to be
Johnson.
like this little, like, I always get the little green bottle. It's probably like apple scented. And it was like a little fish. And it was like designated for kids. So you don't burn your eyes with the shampoo and stuff.
Yeah, like Johnson & Johnson no-tear shampoo.
So when I was washing my hair the other day with our fancy L'Oreal stuff, it got in my eye. Like, it hasn't happened since I was like, I don't know. And it made me think that they need the tear-free shampoo for adults.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. You know what? You
Kind
could
of like a sad adulting moment you
It
had.
was. I was like, oh no, my eye.
See, I cry in the shower, but it has nothing to do
With the shampoo.
my shampoo and conditioner regimen. That's just my
That's your moment to decompress.
that's my time. But no, I do want to thank you guys for having me. For me, so again, I'm starting this this podcast journey, if you want to call it that. I'm starting it, and so I welcome any chance to see how others do it. You get good at it because you said I just do it a lot. Well, that's how you get good at anything.
Well, I was just thinking, like, I don't know that I'm even that good at it anymore. It's been so long since I've done it on a consistent basis that, like, I kind of feel like a fish out of water here. Like, I don't really feel as comfortable as I normally do on these. I've been doing these since, God, I'm trying to remember, early 2010s, like somewhere around there, I feel like. I started a singular podcast. That might have been Joel Henderson's show. I did like 115 episodes of that. The first one was just me sitting there talking by myself for a half hour. I don't know that I could do that now. That's kind of weird to not have the input of somebody else.
Yes.
You know? But for me, at some point, it just became like therapy. Mm-hmm. You know, because I'm pretty open about stuff. So, I mean, our last podcast was about January, like that.
Oh, geez, a 4-hour baby loss conversation.
Yeah, but that helps me to just.
Oh, certainly.
To honestly speak it out there, regardless of what anybody says in return. It helps me to process it as I'm saying it sometimes. Like, it doesn't matter what the feedback is. It's just like, oh, I kind of figured it out as I was saying all that shit about it, you know?
Yes. So mine, what I've put out there with Dad Bod Walking is...
oh, yeah, plug it. You know, I gotta know what it is.
For the longest time, I have been just freakishly blessed with having, I don't want to say unusual experiences, but a lot of experiences, random experiences that, I mean, for the most part, just about any topic you can come up with, not in a one-up sense, because those people are annoying, but I've got some
I don't know what you're
story
talking about.
that relates to just about any topic. And my mom had always said, Bob, you need to write a book. And we even came up with a name, and we said it would be Life a la carte, for the sole reason that it was just completely random. I mean, I've got stories of, when my mom was the head caterer at Star Plaza Theater for just years, the amount of stories that I just have from that. And then they go to stories of, we are in the West Wing of the White House, and Liam, my son at the time, makes a beeline for the Situation Room. And if it weren't for other folks there, and so all these weird, random, politics, music, art, theater, just life. She said, it's a la carte, you should write that. This past November, she had passed away. And, she was always like the biggest cheerleader you've ever met.
Yeah.
Was my mom, especially for her kids, for myself and my sister. And so I thought, well, I teasingly say often, I don't read. I can't read. And it's truly that.
Same. Stop being me. Stop just describing my life with things like
and we've had
rearranging
that,
of rooms.
Before the cameras were rolling, there was like half a dozen things that were like, we have a lot of similarities.
Yep.
But I can't sit and I have Harry Potter tattoos. I have watched all the Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I don't know that I've ever gotten past a chapter in one of the books. I can't read and have that part of how I.
It just won't. It won't stick. The information will not stay. I just find myself drifting, and then I'm asleep, and I'm like, "What the hell just happened?"
I can read the words, but it doesn't. I'm a pure visual person.
Yeah, very much.
So just over working through that, and I'm certainly not over. And I hope in many ways I'm never over her passing. But just working through that, I thought, well, what if I, rather than do chapters in a book, why don't I do a podcast where I then interview people and talk with people who have been a part of my life and make each one of those episodes like a chapter in this book. So that way at the end of it, whether one person watches it or 100,000 people watch it or 43, whatever it is, they are just, so I've had a former teacher on there, friends, coworkers, acquaintances, just because I feel like at the end of it, maybe that would be the book to, honor what she wanted, like in my own way. 'Cause I would never read a book about, I had a Canadian actress, Sharon Taylor, on, and she's done a lot of sci-fi stuff, and that's where I got to know her from, doing working security at some Comic-Cons. That way we just stuck and became friends after that. I would fall asleep reading that story. I really would. But I'd listen to it in the car. I'd watch it.
Right.
So that's how I came to
a little more palatable, for your own input than.
And so.
Plus, let me put it this way too. It's much easier. Talking is so much easier than writing stuff.
It is. I have a hard time documenting things.
See, I don't have a problem with that. That I'm fairly good at. I've been doing the daily vlog for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's easier to just say what I'm thinking than to try to write what I'm thinking. I find sometimes. Yeah, I almost get too much in my own head about like, well, what point am I trying to make here? You know what I mean? Whereas just say it, and if sort it out later. You could always go back to your podcast transcripts and pull little segments and put it in a book.
Yeah, I think most of mine might be. I don't know that it's a stutter or a stammer, but sometimes I feel like a supercharger engine that's just kind of winding up before it takes off when I speak.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of pauses, and that's, but I think like that also. And so writing is just difficult for me.
Yeah.
I can sit down and I can write a narrative or a caption for something I'm looking to do, whether it's for work or politics. I could do a really good speech, but it takes me a while, and I'm finding that I really like doing this.
Yeah.
And so,
I've never liked doing this.
why
You-
not? You're
I just-
chatty. You seem like a chatty
I
person.
am. I just never would do. I think the first time we did it was when we did the How to Watch TV with Severance.
Yeah, her thing is like she's an intensely like public person, but also very, very private. So like there's these two conflicting sides of her personality where, yes, she's the most bubbly, outgoing, fun, awesome person, and then she'll just be like,
Like,
small as a
no,
little
not on.
mouse,
No, I'm
you
not
know,
doing
like-
this. But
And she doesn't want anybody to see or talk to, or any of that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like, if you would just relax, like you're good at this.
Yeah.
Anytime we go somewhere, we'll go to the doctor's office and we'll go in together or whatever, and we got them rolling. You know what I mean? We're just funny together. So it's like, why are we not
Doing
just
this
bantering
together.
and just like stay in that zone of like happy, playful kind of
Yeah.
thing, and you're good. There's no pressure on this. Like, what? We got 5 people watching. That's
really,
no. Now she's gonna freak out. She's like, oh God, 5.
I'm one of them. I'm just close out of my window.
Wait, so am I. There's 3 of them. We are 3 of the 5 viewers.
Let me turn my phone off.
one on
I'm
up
just
here.
kidding.
My phone and my tablet off.
Yeah, oh, damn it, it's on here too.
Oh gosh.
Oh, there's only 4 now, so only one other person.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you do this most often, and then you are the like Robin to his Batman sometimes when you come in as a
Yeah.
sidekick.
Yeah, we do How to Watch TV, so we'll pick certain shows. I've been doing that one since 2014, something like that. And just different shows over the years. How to Watch, Game of Thrones. We did Chronologically Lost. Somebody edited Lost in chronological order.
Okay.
And put all the episodes out. So we watched and podcasted through that. Any number of TV shows, but the most recent one being Severance.
Yeah.
Do you watch Severance?
No, I don't. I have. So in the amount of free time that I have is so narrow that I have to be very selective about the new shows that I bring in to my life.
Can you just back me up on Severance? You should watch Severance.
You should.
I should. What's it about
Yes.
other than it's the guy from Parks and Rec?
It is, but he's
Yes.
so good in this.
Okay.
It's a drama, and
It took me a while. He watched it way before I did.
I watched the whole first season, like the last episode of the first season. I've never sat on the edge of my seat the entire episode,
really?
45 minutes. I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is
So
awesome.
what is it about?
So the idea of Severance is that in this, I want to say alternate world, but it's not really. It's like set in the world, but it's kind of timeless. Like there's a bunch of old cars and then not many new cars. You know, it's
Because
kind
it
of.
looked like in some of the previews, like he had old tech, like old
Yeah.
computers or something.
Yes,
like
but
that.
that's part of the where they work. So there's this procedure you can get implanted you can get a chip implanted into your brain, and it allows you to be severed. And what that means is when you're at home, you know nothing of your job. And when you go to work, you get in the elevator and you go down, and then you wake up as your innie, the one that only exists on the inside.
Okay.
And the outie, aka you at home, doesn't
Yeah.
remember shit. It's a blink of an eye to them. They just wake right back up, coming back out of the elevator 8 hours
Yeah.
later. But then, so now there's these 2 lives that are happening: the innie and the
Yeah.
outie. And
Well, that's interesting.
yeah, and then it's like, well, can the innie ever leave? And then
Yeah. And does the work guy ever get
yeah,
to
and
go
then
home? Or?
does anybody really know who anybody else is down there? And
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of interesting twists and
'Cause
turns.
I would have to
and
imagine if
produced by Ben Stiller.
Okay. If you had that ability, again, I've never watched, but if you had that, that would be an interesting exercise to know, am I the same person? Because of the work that I do, I am everywhere at
Why
all
would
times.
anybody be here? Here, you keep talking for a second.
Not a problem.
It's somebody selling something.
Aw.
It's Boy Scouts.
Oh, is it popcorn?
Joel.
That's amazing. It would be something to be able to turn that off to say, would I be a different person at work if I didn't have all the...
Sorry, I just had to blow off a kid in a Cub Scout uniform because he was trying to sell me stuff.
That's terrible.
He had a wagon.
He even brought a wagon?
He brought a wagon. The dad was out there. Yeah, it was popcorn. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's totally not important, but I'm in the middle of recording a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, poor kid.
Why not?
I think I see him out there crying now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's an interesting premise, and the way the show plays out is fascinating. There's a bunch of twists and turns you don't see coming. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it was never my thing, and I was like, what is this show? I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. When I first tried to watch it with him,
Yeah.
oh, let's watch something together. And then I told myself, I was like, I'm going to sit down and actually try to watch it. One of the best shows I've ever watched.
Really?
Yes.
So what is your thing? If that's not your thing, what's your thing?
Oh, what's my thing? No one's ever asked me that.
What's your thing?
Like show-wise, you
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, show-wise. I like stuff like Scandal
Okay.
or...
She loves 911.
I like that cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
The shows that I'm just sitting there watching them with her, annoying the crap out of her because I'm like, oh my God, yes, there just happened to be a tornado and a fire hurricane at the same time.
Watching the Texas 911, whichever one was the Rob Lowe one.
Oh, Texas. Yeah.
And
Wasn't that like Lone Star or something
yeah,
like that?
Yes.
yeah. How is it that, and maybe it was the other 911, I don't remember, but that's kind of like when ER jumped the shark, when there was like a tank that burst through the ER.
Yeah.
It's like, so there's like a mega tsunami.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's like
The Super Bowl's happening. And
yeah, all while an
Right.
undiscovered earthquake fault zone is going off, and all these things are happening at the same time, and literally it's this straight out of Central Casting diverse group
Yes.
out of Station
Oh, yes.
14 can save the day
Yep.
with their old fire truck because they can't get the city to give them money.
Yep.
And they literally save the day. And that is every single episode. At some point, it's like,
is.
dude, move away because that is just the most cursed community.
Yeah, no, it sounds like an awful place to work.
So I realized that I just watched like basic TV shows before I met Joel, because when he would do his How to Watch TV, I was like, okay, do your own thing. And then I actually kind of would find out what he's really doing. He's diving into an episode and kind of diagnosing it further than anyone would ever think to do.
Anybody
I would never think that much about a TV show, but so beyond those other
in the
shows.
worlds, you know?
Oh,
No.
yes.
Ted Lasso
Oh, yes.
is one of my favorite shows. We probably watched it 10 times.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
so good.
yes.
Shrinking
Haven't watched Shrinking.
with who's in that?
Is it Woody? Not Woody. Harrison Ford.
Harrison
He is in that
Ford
one?
and I can't remember Marshall from How I Met Your Mother's name.
The Muppets. Phenomena. Do. Isn't he in the Muppets also?
Phenomena.
Who?
Pretty sure he
Marshall?
is. The main actor.
I can't remember his name. Jason Segel or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah. That's a really good show.
Yeah, that one's really good. What else is currently that we're watching?
I don't know. Like he said, like I find myself not having enough time to like watch stuff nowadays.
I did just want to show that I am on season 3, episode 8 of my Ted Lasso rewatch.
Yeah. It's so good.
Okay, so there's like 17 questions on the table here. So that's the type of stuff you like. What do you seem to be more in depth when you watch a show or a series to start? Do you immediately start like peeling back all the onion layers of it, or do you watch it, enjoy it, like I got to go back and start dissecting this for my How to Watch TV?
No, I will. Hi, Josephine.
Hi, Josephine.
She's back there. No, I bust out my notes on my phone immediately, and I write the name of the episode or what the show is,
Yeah.
season 1, episode 1, pilot or whatever, and then as it's going along, I just say things because my memory sucks. I just write down thoughts that I have during it, like, oh, that would never happen that way, or you know what I mean, to like whether I'm going to like this show or not. The thoughts will tell me how I'm feeling about the show by the end of it, and then those will if I'm talking to somebody else, then they'll have opinions on those thoughts, which will spark other conversations and lead me to places that I hadn't considered. You know, so like I just really like taking the world seriously if the creators do.
Yes.
Like that's why Lost is my favorite show ever, because the world building in it, every single thing matters.
Yeah.
Everything matters. The address on a house matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The number on the back of a jersey matters. Like
It has some connection.
yes,
somewhere.
something ties into something else, so it's worth investing in, and that's the show that taught me that TV is better than movies in that regard. Like the long form storytelling you can do on TV is so much more in depth than something like, and I know everybody loves it, but like Star Wars, to me it's so surface level. When I finally got around to watching it during the podcasting era, that
Right.
since I've been doing podcasts is when I watched Star Wars for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there could have been some really interesting stuff in there, but it was all so surface level that it was just kind of glossed over. Like I heard there can't be two Siths at the same time, two on the dark side, or else it starts draining the power. And I'm like, why did somebody not like infiltrate and try to siphon some of the
Yeah.
power off of the dark side just for the sake of, you know, taking one for the team or for the good
Yeah.
side or whatever. Yeah. But everybody's like, you're thinking about it too much. I'm like, no, they're not thinking about it enough.
Right.
Like this is ripe for conversation.
I
Zoom in on one building and just go inside to the apartment and hear them watching a news report and, oh, fucking Skywalkers again?
Yeah.
And then they change the channel to something, you know what I mean? And then we just live their life.
I've always been a Star Trek fan over a Star Wars fan, although I have found a new appreciation for Star Wars. The only Star Wars... Now, there's some mega fans out there that will piece together, like, oh, if you watch this episode of this animated series, and that is Andor.
Okay.
I've heard that's really good. I haven't seen it yet, but
It is... It's weird Star Wars because it is on a level that Star Wars itself is not. Andor is 2 episodes. I'm sorry, 2 seasons.
I've heard it's kind of like what I was saying, like a little more in depth. And
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the first time that Star Wars I've ever felt has really done any true world building.
Oh.
And
Okay.
where Andor season 1, season 2 goes, at the end of season 2 turn the next page is the Star Wars movie Rogue One, and Rogue One you turn the page and then it's the original Star Wars A New Hope.
Episode
and it
4,
goes
yeah.
from there, and so like that little snippet in the timeline might be worth your time because it's not about the Sith and the Jedis and the Masters. It's the drama of living in an oppressed world with an empire crushing down on people, and how to start a rebellion. And
making underdogs and
yes,
like that kind of thing. Yeah, that's the fun
that
stuff.
was good. Where I think TV, because I've been a big TV fan forever, and where I think TV changed, and I'm going to give credit to Star Trek because I love it, is when Star Trek Deep Space Nine came out. I don't know
Okay.
if you've ever watched it.
I feel like I've come across it, but it's not something I ever dove
And
into.
you may have. I mean, this was, late 90s. I think it wrapped in 99, so it started in 92, 93. But it was the first time in that kind of world building where it turned from episodic to having a story arc.
Continuing stories.
Yes.
Oh my
And
God, that's the
that
best.
Completely. And at the time, everybody was like, what is this? We're Star Trek. We're used to, Alien of the Week, Planet of the Week. But this was something where something that would happen in season 3, episode 8, and then in season 5, episode 2, there'd be a payoff.
Yeah.
That if you didn't watch it, it was still okay because they were testing
There's
the
enough
waters.
stuff else going on, probably.
But
But
for
yeah.
those who were watching it, it really built that, and that was about the time I think like Babylon 5. I think a lot of good storytelling starts in the world of sci-fi because you can get away with some things that then you get other more realistic TV shows that say, oh, that was successful there. Let's make.
Well, Lost has some sci-fi elements to it, which I think make it infinitely more interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, without them, it's kind of like meh. But with them, it's just like, okay, yeah, no, this is super interesting. I'm in.
I recently I've gotten into Outlander.
Okay.
That have you ever?
I haven't started yet. I've been seeing it. And I'm like, ooh, this one looks good.
Josephine, did you have something you wanted to add to the podcast?
Do you like Outlander? It might be a little old for you, hon. No.
I don't think she's into it.
It's got a little bit of sci-fi in it, just a little bit. The main character, there's these circle of stones in various places around the world, and if you have a gemstone and you touch a stone, if you have it in your genetics, you then time travel to some other period. What? You don't think that, because you think Outlander, you think, oh, that's probably like just some Scottish TV show and period piece, and it is, but there's a bit of a sci-fi element to it, and so those are the things that I like. I like that stuff. But again, I have so little time but I see Severance everywhere.
I mean,
Shrinking came up here.
We watch The Office constantly still.
Yeah,
Are you a fan?
There's a huge fan. There's a lot
Did you start the paper today?
I did not.
It's quite good. I like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was
the
nervous.
The theme song is great. Like, they did a really, like, it's in the same ballpark as The Office, but it's different, and it's beautiful. We've only made it about halfway through the first episode, but, like, all the characters seem pretty funny or interesting or, compelling enough to want to keep. It's like the first two seasons of The Office and Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec got much better in the second season. Yeah. Like, considerably better. And so did The Office. But the first season of both was kind of shaky. Yeah. I feel like they've learned from that in this one, and the characters are kind of already well defined. Okay. And they already know what's going to work. Like, there's some things they're doing in this one where it's like they'll call back to The Office. Okay. So, like, have you seen any of the stuff for it?
So this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the camera crew from The Office going to do another documentary on this office supply.
No, it's a newspaper. Yeah,
that's right.
But did you see Oscar's in it?
Yes, I saw he's in it.
So they reference that in the first episode, but they do like these black screens with white text on it. Okay. And just like say from the documentary crew. So the documentary crew's kind of involved already at the start. The dynamic we already know because of The Office. Yeah. So it's just like, so when Oscar sees me, he's like, no, we're not doing this again. I don't agree to this. And then it flashes on the screen. Turns out Oscar's release from 2005 never expires. So he can't, awesome. So they're like kind of messing with him too a little bit.
Office is one of those, Office, Parks and Rec. We've got a few that, at the end of the day, it's just nice to have something familiar on.
Yeah, comfort food shows.
So I tell you, at 10 o'clock at night, I cannot get invested in, like, I would never start Severance at 10 o'clock at night because...
Right.
That's her. I'll start it at midnight. I don't care.
Because I'll be... now, I do... Again, I'm such a huge Star Trek fan. Those episodes normally drop at like 2 or 3 a.m., when and I will wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. to watch those. It's my thing. I just like that. But no, it's nighttime is either those.
Like a background show where it's like you don't have to I can't pay attention to it. Yeah. Because if I start liking it, I'm going to be up like for 5 hours just binge watching something. I'm like, just a background show.
Like a Law and Order type show, we can't have that on. Because as soon as you're about to drift off, the next one starts, and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to watch it.
Got to watch it. And you know what happens in them.
Yeah,
but you're just so invested.
I'm really enjoying Dexter Resurrection.
Okay.
Have you watched any of Dexter?
I haven't.
It's depends on what kind of things you're into. You know what I mean? Like, I know Michelle wouldn't like it. Yeah. Because of the killing. Yeah. But, like, it's an interesting premise, and the characters have already lived out 9 seasons in the original show. Then they did a Dexter New Blood where he was in Alaska or something. And then now it's Dexter Resurrection.
Canceled?
No, that was Dexter Original Sin. Okay. So they did like a flashback show when he was like a teenager. Okay. And that one, they said it got picked up in April for a second season, and then they canceled it now.
Canceled it.
Yeah. But that one, I'm invested in it. You watched Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Tyrion Lannister is in this season.
Oh, really?
Of Dexter.
Okay. You know what? I may have seen a preview of that.
He plays a guy who's obsessed with serial killers, and he hosts a serial killer luncheon. So all these other serial killers come together, and Dexter goes. And
Okay, well, that might be kind of cool.
it was super interesting, and he like tries to get them to give show and tell about how they kill and all this stuff, and give them trophies and
Well, that's cool.
like weapons and stuff.
I loved Game of Thrones.
She's about on episode 5 or 6 of the first season.
Entirely disappointed in how it ended.
Which is ironically what people say about Lost, and they're wrong.
Now, again, I said that either on social media or in a text because you had showed me a picture of your office, and there was all this Lost paraphernalia. I've never seen an episode of Lost.
Really?
Never. I don't even know if it was ever something that was like on one time in the house, and I just never have.
What time do you have to leave? We'll just put. We'll wrap up the podcast and just start it now.
Send a note home. I will be home in 7 days. But I did hear that, and maybe this is just in like the cultural nebulous world out there, is that there was a disappointment in the end of Lost.
It was what that was in the easiest way I can say it without spoiling stuff is that people loved the first 2 seasons, and then the scheduling got kind of ridiculous where they did 6 episodes at the beginning of season 3 in the fall.
Okay.
And then you had to wait like 12 weeks for more episodes in February. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
So I think all of the mysteries that were opened up in the first 2 seasons, people were coming back to the finale like, oh, they're going to answer everything now. And it's like, you missed 4 seasons of things that were happening that also have to be addressed here.
Okay.
And the stuff that you're waiting for to be answered in the finale was probably answered already earlier on in the show. And then there was this confusion about purgatory, like people thinking that the island was itself purgatory the whole time. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the show, ABC, without talking to the producers of the show, decided to air during the end credits B-roll footage of the plane wreckage with nobody moving around from the pilot episode.
Okay.
So it looked like, wait, maybe they just all died in the plane crash. They didn't.
Okay.
Like one of the characters even says everything that happened.
Yeah.
In the finale. They're like, no, literally everything that happened there happened.
There was what's another show, and I don't mean to say this to compare the two. Just is it Heroes?
Heroes, yeah. God, season 1 was so good.
Just another one where it's like that might be worth investing. Why I mentioned the Dexter being canceled. Otherwise, I will binge shows. But I always hate when it's like, oh, it was canceled a couple seasons. It's like, well, then was it canceled because it wasn't good?
Right.
Is it worth my time? But some of those established worlds, like a Lost, is just Supernatural's one that has like 15 seasons.
It's crazy how many seasons.
And
I loved season 5 so much, but then I just kind of trailed off after that.
Well, my wife started watching it. But having 15 seasons is so daunting.
It is.
To know that, hey, I'm going to use this as a filler to life.
Yeah.
Gosh, you think, I will be done with this in
3 years. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we just never got with that. But Lost,
there's 121 episodes.
Yeah. Jeez. Now, I say that, and I have rewatched Star Trek that has 7 seasons. Back when they were doing 26 episodes a season, I've rewatched that a million times.
That's what I mean. You just have to, if you start it, there's no way you're not going to, with what you've said you like so far, there's no way you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
There's too many good things about it. I tried to get her into Game of Thrones because despite the ending sucking, in my opinion, because my brother-in-law, who I used to do the podcast with, was the How to Watch TV with, was saying around season 4 of Game of Thrones, I'm always Lost is the greatest show that's ever existed, beginning to end. And he's like, oh, I think this beats it now. I'm like, let's see it stick the landing first. And even he's like, it didn't stick the landing.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, you could tell that
they wanted to rush off and do those Star Wars movies. And
yeah, that it was just, hey, this is the final season. They didn't really have a book to go off of. This was just something that they were.
Yeah.
And
well, they had talked to George R.R. Martin about broad strokes of the ending.
Yeah.
But it felt like everything was rushed.
Now I hear he's saying that he doesn't think he'll ever finish the book.
I'm not surprised. It's been, 14 years since he last released one of the books? How could he still be working on it?
Yeah.
That's not even possible. Jesse in the chat said, I wish I were in the position to have never watched an episode of Lost, then I could experience it for the first time again. And that she's going
Everyone
to a
coming up to
supernatural
our
convention
doors
tomorrow.
tonight.
Why?
Oh, someone else.
All right. Well, this is. Is there like I need a loading screen here. That'll work. Nope, that's not it. See, and you say that we're professional. This couldn't be less professional right now.
I will try to do my podcast. So I have my podcast studio in the basement at my parents' house.
Okay.
So my mom had passed. There was some extra room.
Highlight.
And my dad is one of those where he likes to brag that he's up at 5 in the morning, but that means at 7 o'clock he's going to bed. So and it's just it's a monster of a house. The studio's in the basement. I mean, you could set off a bomb upstairs and you'd never hear it downstairs. And so I'm always blessed with just quiet like that. But I did that because at home, between the dog and the cat and Liam and Becca, it's like,
Right.
Dude, if there's quiet in the house, you better be sleeping and taking advantage of that because.
See, now I'm with me being divorced and the kids not being here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost nearly always silent here.
Yeah.
Like I like watching Josephine because then there's action in the house through the day. But like they're here, technically it's 43% of the time.
Okay.
How the hell that split ended up being, it makes no sense at all. But whatever. When they're here, they're pretty content and just kind of doing their thing. And they're 11 and 16 now. So,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Lena's 21, but she stays with my parents.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's so quiet. Like, I'm ready to hit the reset button with Michelle. Like, let's do it. Like, let's get some kids going.
So we.
I'm not too old for that, right? I'm 45.
No.
Like, I have done the math, though. I'll be at least 63 when they graduate high school.
Well,
And maybe they'll drop out.
Yeah, maybe they will. They'll take up a trade. Maybe they'll become YouTube podcasters and not need that.
Not a single one of my kids took advantage of any of that.
No.
Not that it, I let them. They were in the vlog for like River was in the vlog nearly every day of her life since 9 months.
Okay.
And not one of them have any interest in any of it.
Yeah.
Lena was like, she told me the other day, she's like, it kind of got weird during my teenage years because I was having like body issues or like, I don't like the way I look or whatever. And then I'm in the vlog and stuff. So fine, fair enough. It didn't occur to me. So I try not to focus on them too much anymore. Like I'll put them in every once in a while if something, but I'm not doing the daily vlog anymore. I stopped around Juneteenth.
Okay.
Like I was just like, I find myself doing nothing during the day and still trying to make it interesting in a vlog. And it's like, this is not what I started this for.
Right.
I started it to remember the big things and like the interesting things, but not, I'm making a video again today just for the sake of it. And it was like, I was getting editing burnout and all that. And so it was just like, I'm just going to do when a day feels worth vlogging. I used to feel like I'd missed something, but now it's like, I stopped on the 19th, 20th, and then the next one I did was 4th of July. And then we went to California in August, so I did those days. And I've done like 1 or 2 other days since then, but it's like so much more manageable. But I feel the need to share still, but not nearly as much. I find, especially recently, that I would rather not have said something than have said something. Does that make sense?
Oh,
it's like not everything needs my opinion to be out in the ether. And like sometimes putting your opinion out there ostracizes you or alienates you from people that wasn't your intent. So I would rather just shut up about something anymore, whereas before I would have been shouting about everything.
Yeah.
Here's my opinion, I'm right. And now I'm just like, I could be wrong. Have you ever considered having that point of view? I could be wrong and being okay with learning.
I could be wrong. My opinion could still be valid, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And new facts can make new opinions. It's weird how that works.
Exactly. When I started, not so much the podcast, but when I started co-hosting on some of the morning shows on WJOB, everybody said, you have to be careful. You're an elected official, and you just have to be careful. And there is a fine line. You can be obstinate and say, well, this is my opinion. I have a right to express this, and you absolutely do.
Right.
But there are times.
Yeah, but you're not. You have a freedom of speech, but not freedom of consequences. Exactly.
And there are times when, if I say something, I have to know that, okay, you've now put this out in the ether, out in the interwebs,
Right.
and in the stratosphere. You now have to live and die on this hill.
Right, and is
so-
there enough gain really in saying whatever you're saying to
Well,
make it
and
worth the
sometimes,
hassle?
Exactly. Sometimes I've always how I vote on the council. I've had 2 votes that I have regretted,
Okay.
and it just it tears me up when I think about it. They weren't, consequential in terms of everything's fine, houses didn't burn down, all the water's still clean. It's just more procedural things. But I always said, I'm going to vote, doesn't matter Republican, Democrat, no matter what, what side of it, I'm going to vote so that if someone pulls me over while I'm shopping at Jewel and they say, can you explain this? Then I can explain it. Whether they like it or not, this is what I did. And so when I'm on the radio, I kind of have to have that same mentality of, I am a smartass, I'm snarky, I'm sarcastic. It's like, okay, you can do that, but just know that you're also a public figure. So if you say something,
You have to be able to stand behind it.
Yes.
Like you have to be able to, you have to believe it enough that you'll defend it later.
Yes, and it doesn't even have to be anything big. I was a huge fan of, I love watching political dramas and political procedural shows
Yeah.
because I can pick them apart because I have been in some of those rooms
Sure,
when
yeah.
real things have happened. And there was an episode of The West Wing where the president, Martin Sheen's character, in an offhanded comment, he said he didn't like broccoli. And by the end of the episode, like the broccoli farmers of America were out to get him. And it's like, no, I just was saying that I'm not saying broccoli is bad or you can't. I'm just saying that I don't like broccoli.
Right.
And he stood, and he, if I remember right, he just, again, was obstinate and just moved on from it. But sometimes that's how I have to think is that, okay, if you're going to say you don't like broccoli, be prepared for,
The pro-broccoli people to be coming at
the
you.
pro-broccoli people who live in
Yeah.
Dyer to blow up my Facebook
Yeah.
page that, oh, this guy's awful, he's a horrible person. No, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Or the super hateful anti-broccoli people
Oh,
that join
I
your
know.
cause and you're like, look, I was not recruiting you.
Yeah.
You're way too intense about not
I
liking
know,
broccoli.
right? And so, but yes, that's something that I've thought about is what in here in my head, for those maybe listening, not watching as I point to my head, what in here maybe belongs in the ether, what doesn't, what belongs there just because I want it to live and exist.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say things because I
I have never had this many people come to my house. Can we let the dogs out?
that is amazing.
Unbelievable. Nobody ever comes by. Jesse, you've watched the vlogs. Does anybody ever stop by the house? No. Ridiculous.
So here's a question. We could shift gears on here.
Okay.
We were talking about this, no, but it's the same thing. What got you into this? So my motivation
Into
was,
what specifically? Into podcasting or into video stuff or like what do you mean?
really any of it, because my guess is I'm just assuming here is that you had an interest in entertainment, in videos, and then the world of podcasting erupted. We're roughly the same age, so we were born analog and moved into a digital age. So there was some interest there. I'm assuming, most I don't imagine too many, let's say, boomers who are 70 are going to get all excited about putting this whole thing together and starting that. I think
Right.
The mid-40s crowd grew into this.
Yeah, I would have been in my late 20s probably when I first started messing with stuff like this. When my daughter was born in 2004, I got a video camera for my birthday, and that kind of sparked my interest in doing video. My brothers had a band at the time called Asteria, and I would follow them around and film their concerts and stuff. So that kind of made me even more interested in filming more often. And then, stuff like The Office inspired me. And I'm like, well, let's try to do our own version of that at my office where I was working. Did that for a few years. And then it was like scheduling issues, trying to get people, because nobody's getting paid. We're just doing it for fun.
Oh, yeah.
So then I come up with a story for this one character, and then that actor doesn't show up for the day. And they're just my buddies.
Yeah.
So I can't be too shitty about it. But it's like, okay, this is getting too frustrating because there's 6 other people there that are waiting to do something. And then it's like, hold on, we got to come up with a whole new thing. And so then that was like, well, what else can I be doing on my own to keep my skills going? And I was watching Community at the time, and Dan Harmon, the creator, was doing a behind-the-scenes vlog.
Okay.
And it was awful. It wasn't bad, but it was just like, that's so low effort. Like, you did one clip in the car in the morning. Like, I could do that.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, why don't I just start doing a daily vlog?
Yeah.
And then, the first couple are nothing, but then eventually, over time, they became my way of telling my story. And just whatever, even if it's some stupid bit of humor in the moment, shouting at birds, just whatever. And then I developed little bits along the way. And then it was, the podcasting thing was just a natural extension of that, I think. I must like hearing my own voice. And, or feel like, well, what it was with the podcast, I can tell you, is I thought sitting around with me and my friends is usually pretty entertaining. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm offering the world in the form of a podcast, but I know that I listen to stuff like the Ricky Gervais show because it's like I'm sitting around with friends.
Yes.
So why would I not put out the entertaining conversation that we're having in case somebody else is looking for that?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of where it started. And then that was just me doing Joel Henderson show for years. And then How to Watch TV, that gave me something to talk about and just let me obsess over a show to such ridiculous detail that it was like, this is cathartic for me. I feel like I learned something at the end.
At that point, it didn't matter who was tuning in. This was just your process to.
Yeah, no, it's always just been about what I felt in the moment. I don't really care. It would be cool if there was a bigger audience, but I'm cool with just Jesse watching and commenting. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
we got one person out there that always shows up every time.
One person. I felt the same way about mine. Is
it helps Michelle and I bond a little bit on these. It builds up her confidence to know that she can do this stuff.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it too.
I've never asked Beck to be a part of it, but I think one of the old switcheroos that happened when we first got married is I feel like I was I've always been a social person, but I can you be social and also introverted at the same time? And
to answer that question, yes. Her name is Michelle.
Her name is Michelle, and she's wrangling some dogs right now. And evidently the 4th Cub Scout to come to this
show up at the house.
With popcorn.
I don't know what is going on.
Tonight you are buying this damn popcorn,
yes,
lady.
They just keep showing back up. You said it was True Green?
True Green.
Doing
coming
what?
To see how our service has been. And
That's
to
amazing.
Inspect the lawn. And I'm like, dude, they just started last week. They just did aeration today, and that's all.
How about
this should be the bit of us trying to get just a 45-minute
no one
segment
ever
in.
rings our doorbell. Ever. Mm-mm. Not even little Billy in his popcorn basket.
Aww.
It could be Halloween and nobody's ringing the doorbell.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's we're the house on the hill that nobody wants to
He had to
come
go around and he was checking the trees and telling us what's wrong with them. I was like, well, obviously that one's dead, so. But.
And it's dark.
It is dark.
Oh, is that why they were barking at the backyard? Because he was walking in the yard? I thought so.
That's what that was.
When you're doing this stuff and you're putting this out there, any one of your shows or any one of your bits, do you ever do it in a way where it's like, hey, I'm going to try to figure out the social media algorithm to get this out more, or do you just put it out there and let the internet do its thing if people come to it? Or
to my own detriment, yes. I just just put my stuff out there. I hate seeing people spam the crap out of their own content, so I don't want to be that person. I will never do clickbait titles. It's just not my thing. I'm going to deliver on exactly what it says in the title.
Yeah.
And I make quality stuff. If you want to watch it, you can watch it. I feel like you'll like it if you watch it, but I'm not going to force somebody's hand to watch it. So yeah, I've been posting my vlog for 10 years. I did Lost to Time, where we'd go explore the abandoned buildings in Gary. Any number of the podcasts, any other stupid Don't Eva bits or whatever. But no, I don't really do anything with it beyond, here's my channel, it's on my channel.
Yeah, I do.
I wish I had explored the algorithms and learned how to play the game right and when to post it, but like it seems like a lot of effort. And this is supposed to be fun for me.
I've got a friend who he has a podcast and he does his thing and he's like, well, you know, if I and Mike, if you're watching, I'm not ripping on you. This is your thing. If he's like, well, if I posted it, you know, like Tuesday between 8 and 10, you get the people who are going to work in the morning and listening to it then. I find that if I post on a Friday afternoon, it's out of the algorithm cycle by Monday. And he's like trying to get this down to a science. And when he shows me his numbers, it's like, you're clearly onto something. I post my hour-and-a-half video out there. Each episode I try to do 2 like 30-second clips that on YouTube I'll do as a short video, just because sometimes, and those do really well, YouTube just puts it in the other things you may watch. And the thought is, like you said, it would be nice if more people watched. Whether it's an ego stroke or not, it would just be nice to have that. But
I'm also kind of in this lovely comfort zone where there's not really any haters either. So that's nice too, because I feel like if it did blow up at some point, like if all of a sudden people just wanted to watch all my vlogs and they like became obsessed with me, like that's not what I want necessarily.
Right.
I guess what I would want is simply for people to know that I can make great videos for them, because that's what I do for a living, and that I'm funny at this, and can make competent stuff and decent content that might be worth checking out.
Yeah,
like that's really it. I'm not looking to get famous off of it or rich off of it. I mean, would it be great if I was getting, monetization for things like more so than $100 a year or something? That'd be great. But
I know Beck would love if I just made enough to cover what the equipment costs.
Yeah.
I think she would.
Just enough to supplement my income would be great. Like, I'd love to just do this. Like, but
no, it's not.
I don't see it. I don't see it in the cards. It's just my forte is going to be making videos for other people, or creating corporate videos or wedding videos, things like that. I'm shooting 2 weddings this weekend, so like that's the main stuff. And if I'm in a good mood, then I'll try to do bits. But if life gets in the way, then you just stop for a little while and
what I find
take a breath.
I try to crank out 2 a month, just because. My first couple, I spent like a week editing. And I thought, then again, I'm learning this.
I hope you know that's why I'm doing this live. A, it's live on YouTube, and B, I'm switching camera angles live because I hate sitting there and watching back through an hour-and-a-half podcast. Flip to angle B, flip to camera 1, camera 3, camera 2. No, it's so dull. So I'd rather just do it live and be done with it.
It's an hour and a half, but then it's I'm not joking when I say maybe 10, 11 hours of editing that hour-and-a-half video, and I was like, well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I was having a real hard time just finding the time. And then talk about burnout. It's like, dude, I just want to, so I've got one.
You just want to talk, and then it's done.
I do.
That's where I'm at now. So, I'm happy with that.
I'll do a few things. I have an intro and an outro video and some bumper music that I'll just play in there.
Yeah.
That I haven't found a way to the quality that I like. I haven't found a platform that adds it in there. Rumble, you could add it in there, but then the video quality was bad.
What are you using are you streaming or are you recording it?
I'm recording it.
Okay. Because I'm just using OBS Studio,
well, and that's
or
what
OBS rather. I don't know if it's OBS Studio. One of them is a different product, or it's not Streamlabs OBS. It's just OBS.
Correct. So I'm just using OBS, and I only use OBS for because as I'm doing it, I'm producing it.
Yep.
So I only use it for the virtual camera, so I can toggle back between my different camera angles
Right.
in studio. Otherwise, whoever I have remote in is just, they're just folks on a laptop or on a
Right.
whatever. They don't have studios, so yeah, I find that I can turn it around in just a couple hours now. Now I've learned to intro, outro.
You can play back at double speed too when you're editing. I figured that out with wedding ceremony edits, and holy crap, does that save me so much time. In Final Cut Pro, which is what I use, I just hit L twice.
Yeah.
And then it's, they're talking faster, but you can still hear what they're saying, and you go, switch to this angle now. Okay, so, and you're doing it faster, but you're busting through it.
Because
What are you editing in?
iMovie.
Okay.
Nothing. Now, is it Final Clip Pro?
Final Cut Pro 10,
Final Cut
yeah.
Pro. My friend Mike, he uses that one.
It's like iMovie, but just with more options.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
And but again, now that I've moved from Rumble to Riverside, Riverside has a ton of features built into it. Like I said, it'll record the remote one separate, my video separate, then one of the two of us, and then an audio file. So by the time you're done, you get 4 different files.
Do you run any of that audio through anything? Like there's the Adobe Podcast AI. If you put it in there, it'll just take out all the background noise and boost up the vocal. It's ridiculous.
Well, and so
I did an interview. I did a video for somebody, and they were sitting. They were interviewing somebody. They're sitting right next to my camera, okay? I put a mic on the person being interviewed, not the interviewer, from here to Michelle away from them.
Yeah.
And so the camera's picking up the audio from their chest. And I threw it through the podcast AI, and then when I listened to it back, I heard the interviewer at the same volume as the person responding. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I heard me say something in the background. I wasn't mic'd. I was 10 feet from the mic, and it picked it up, and it brought it up to normal talking volume and didn't sound any different with background levels or anything. It was bizarre.
So Riverside has a feature where it will do all of that audio leveling automatically once it's done. So like I said, you get your 4 files that it just has, and then it takes about another hour or so as just AI processes it. And you can set the settings to, like I said, I say kind of similar.
Yeah.
You can cut that out. AI just knows
Cut that one out.
that if I'm just sitting there for a second and the other person's talking, it will switch to just them if they're
Oh.
It's really good. And then it also has a feature like Opus Clip,
Right.
but it's built into Riverside, so you don't have to pay for Opus Clip. It just kind of does it there.
Opus Clip is like when I was trying to do the vlog on TikTok, where you would just cut little clips and put the titles on it already and crop it vertical. It wasn't very good at it. Like the content it came up with was like, this isn't really indicative of what my vlog is, but I'm not going to sit there and go through the vlog and cut it to like a short version of the whole day.
Right, because
one clip doesn't really do it.
30 to 60-second clips that, hey, this is a piece of what we talked about, and so I've done well with that software already.
Yeah, this is solely because I'm too lazy to do what you're doing and re-edit it after the fact.
Well, I don't now. My goal was...
Oh, you're doing it now live, so to speak. You're producing it live?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then once it's done, it goes into Riverside. AI does its whole thing. My goal is, I said 1-to-1. If my show is an hour and a half, I'll give it an hour and a half editing. And then, like I said, I'll throw in the intro and outro and just do some stuff like that. But I've got it down to such a science now for that,
That's just the practice. That's just putting in the reps, man. Like
those first couple, I'm no joke. It was like 10 hours.
Yeah.
But I also didn't know what I was doing.
No, you don't know exactly how you're shooting it. You don't know what you're trying to create. And once you start figuring those things out, where it's like, okay, I don't need an hour of this kind of a thing. I need more half hour of this, and then whatever those things are. And it's just like, oh God, this is streamlined now. It seems so much easier because I can almost see the edit as I'm going through it.
And after a dozen, boy, I look at the first one thinking, I would have done that whole damn thing different. So, I mean, I can't imagine you after hundreds of episodes.
That's me every time, because like I'll go back and watch a Lost to Time, like when me, you, and Fernando went to that school that they were tearing down in Gary, that Nobel. Mm-hmm. And I shot it, and I'm like, I look at it, and 2 years later, I'm like, what am I doing with the camera settings here? Everything looks awful. Whereas now it's like, oh, I would have just bumped up the f-stop a little bit there, and it would have smoothed everything out. I wouldn't have the shadows around the vignette around the end.
Yeah.
But everything that I shoot, I look at an old wedding I shot, and like they're good, but like compared to now, I'm like, what was I even thinking? How did I think that was good?
But even the style of everything changes. So
yeah.
When Beck and I got married, we got married on Memorial Day weekend of 2005, and we feel like around that time was about the change when people started documenting, either by video or photos, weddings differently. So we feel like ours in our group was really now we said if we could redo anything, the photos would be completely different. It was very traditional.
Okay.
Right.
And now everything is just they're so creative. There was nothing creative in the way our wedding was documented, which is a shame because of the 1,200 pictures we ended up getting off of when they were done. There's maybe 5 that we like,
Right.
I mean, it was just like, But now, because as I'm pointing here to all of your equipment, so all this equipment is relatively less expensive or certainly more available.
Uh-huh.
And you can buy any of this, and you can watch how to do it on social media, the YouTubes, the interwebs, the Google bots, and you can figure out how to do it, and then you can be creative with it. Someone has this weird idea, and they do it, and it's awesome. And next thing you know, for the next 18 months, every wedding that you see posted online has this certain shot.
Yeah.
And we don't have any of that. It's all the traditional line up, and
Right.
it's just like,
I saw a wedding photo my buddy did the other day where he got the bride and groom to sit in the front seat of a car, and he got them in the rearview mirror, like smiling, and then he had the whole, like all the people that were in attendance in front of the car with their flashlights on their phones, like peering in at them, and like so they were in the reflection, and everybody was out there. It was.
Can we redo our wedding photos, please?
I would love to do that. I feel like that's one of those things. Ours was 3 years ago, and I look at the photos and I'm like, they don't really reflect who we are. First of all, her makeup and hair and everything was not Michelle that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they did this whole thing where it's like over make. She doesn't make up. For the most part, she'll put on like eyeliner and stuff, but for other than that, there's nothing. So then I show up there, and they got her like orange almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, and then her hair was like super curled and stuff, and it's like that's not her.
Yeah.
I want her to look like my wife. You know what I mean? Like what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, when they roll up and it's like, okay, well, here's my airbrush kit, like I'm going to work on a,
Right.
Yeah. Like on a.
It's like a painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was one of our.
So I look at them now and I'm just like, man, we could have done so many different things, or even if we did half as many, we could have done so many cooler ones. I love this group shot of the whole room, like during the reception.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah, we had an outdoor wedding, and where we had it, I just. Again, taking what you see now versus what was done, 20-some years ago, it was like, wow, this is like, really? And then it was odd, our photographer had taken a bunch of pictures. We had our wedding at Becca's uncle's house, real nice, a big house in Dyer, indoor pool, that whole thing.
Okay.
And in the basement was just a ton of all genuine memorabilia everywhere. and like a third of our pictures was just shit from the house that this guy was taking pictures of. It's like, what, are you casing the joint? It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, a little bit of the details. The rule is you're supposed to take pictures of anything they paid money for.
Okay.
But in a house, like, especially if, was it even your house?
No, it was.
See, now that's
yeah.
a little, like, too extreme. Like, oh, this is an Airbnb. Okay, the stuff in the place doesn't really matter. Maybe show the you know.
Yeah, if you're going for a feeling or a vibe, I don't know.
Right, like it's a beach house or whatever that you're renting to getting ready stuff, but you're mainly
the Ford
focusing on the
hangar,
details.
they want that rustic look. I'm like, it's just an old ass building that's falling apart.
Right. Yeah, but that's an aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair.
And
So you, videographer for weddings, is that a solo gig? Does he rope you into going to these all the time? Are you the assistant, or does he not need you?
no, I independent contract for another company for a lot of the weddings, so it's just like they just pay me to go shoot it, and I give them the footage. I do doc edits where it's like the ceremony, the toasts, and the first dances.
Okay.
And then sometimes if I shoot it, I'm doing moments where I crop it vertical and I give them like 2 to 5 minutes of the best moments of the day for the couple.
Okay.
But they pay me for that too. So it's like, but it's just like I can just shoot it and walk away from it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm shooting them myself, I get paid a lot more, but then I have to edit the whole film together.
Yeah.
You know, the whole.
I get to go with him, like, depending, like, when they were rebranding the state of Indiana, the whole in Indiana.
Oh, this is stupidest rebranding.
That was the.
That's my boss that I work for. It's at We Create Media in Valpo. That's
I hate that. I want to bring it back.
I know, every time I look at it, I'm like,
well, now just the sign or the idea of there's more to see in Indiana.
Just the sign.
But I would get to go on all the shoots with him. Like, we would go down to, like, the Covered Bridge Festival, or we have to go. They would go and shoot Turkey Run.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so, like,
things
they're fun
that are
things.
of
I'm like,
Indiana.
I'm going
So yeah, she would just tag
to all
along
of these
and
things with you.
We had there was a whole
She saw me lose my shit when the guy got us lost.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
The guy did not know where he was taking us, and like my sugar was. I felt like, okay, I can't do much more of this. I need to eat something or whatever. Because we had been out there for hours, and then he's like, okay, we're just going to go this way, and then we'll be back at the bridge, and then we go down, and we go down, and we go around, and all this stuff, and then
It was hiking.
and then we pop out of the water, and we see the bridge about a half mile down the way, and there's no way to walk.
The look
to
on
it.
his face, he was just like, and next thing you know, he's calling, like, the little rescue truck, and they're going in the little back Charles, and they pick
I
us
turned
up.
around and I started walking away, and Michelle was hanging back, like trying to talk to the guy as I'm just bitching out loud.
Yeah.
It was like, this is ridiculous. I just, just like venting, and then they took us back in a little truck. And
We
it was
had
like,
there
get
was
out of
an
here with this.
there was an entire rebrand of Indiana during the Holcomb administration, and before that was the Pence administration, which I was a part of, and it felt like everything we had done and worked for was just like, no, now my fingerprints are on it, and it's just like, and so
What was the branding before in Indiana? I genuinely don't remember. Was it the Crossroads of America thing?
Yeah. The
Was there
old,
more
like-
to it than that? Or?
No, I mean they had a few things like a state that works
Okay.
with some gears and stuff like that. I mean they had these signs all over the buildings in Indianapolis that are now all torn down. I mean there's a whole a branding of. I think the idea was they wanted a state that works. They liked the Crossroads of America because Indiana's something like 40% of the navigable distance of the entire country, north to south. Indiana's 40% of it. I mean, it's very long.
Yeah.
And so they like that. And so when the Holcomb team came in and they redid that, we were like, what the heck? But oddly enough, in Senator Banks' office.
Wait, so there's been 2 rebrands since you were there?
Yeah.
What was it when you were there?
Well,
because you said you guys did a rebrand essentially, right?
And that was, but it was the play off of the the old Crossroads of America sign. That was the welcome sign to Indiana.
Right.
And then there was like an internal in Indiana. We're now the state that works.
Okay, yeah.
And so you had those two different components. Now with this last Holcomb rebrand, it's like everything was washed with this in Indiana.
Oh, that's when okay.
Right. And but those old signs now, some of the senators and whatnot in D.C., some of the House members, they have those signs, and there's a push to bring that back.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, it's just nostalgia.
Yeah,
And
100%.
It's because it looks like something that was, especially those Crossroads one with the.
I didn't like the darker blue. I'll be honest. I liked the lighter blue on the sign.
Yeah,
but that's just me personally.
They went with like that darker presidential blue
Yeah.
instead of. But the old sign with like the sun and the star, but the sun had the triangle things. Right? I think there was just some nostalgia with that.
Yeah.
That let's bring that back. It felt like it just felt like a new person was in there, and none of us really was like, So
Every time I'd be like driving, I would get so like angry looking at the sign, like.
yeah.
But get it.
And you know what? And they won't bring it back in.
I have no opinion on the sign, Wade. Sorry, I just want to keep my job. I'm just kidding.
I understand. But yeah, it was just such a jarring change. It was like, and there are some places around the state that it was quite a while afterwards, because you get some just random crossing into Illinois that they just had a welcome sign there, that stayed there for some time after. And I think those are the signs that have been collected and now, people have in their garages.
Right. Well, I have the sign from Lew Wallace High School in my garage.
Oh, that's awesome.
I went there, we were going there nearly every day while they were tearing it down. And I showed up there the day that they were cutting the crest out of the sign, like the big one on the pole with the square. And I was like, what are you doing with it? And they're like, oh, it's being saved. They literally cut out the crest, then smashed the rest of it. The part that said Lew Wallace High School. So I went in there and picked up the pieces at some point.
Okay.
And put it all back together, and now it's hanging above my garage door.
Well, that's pretty cool. The only bit of nostalgia like that I have of something that was torn down is from the Star Plaza Theater. My mom, at 10 or 12 years, she was the head caterer there.
Okay.
And so, the acts that would come in, they would send her the writer, and she would get all the stuff, and she'd run around, get everything ready. And I worked there in high school, which, let me tell you, that was an awesome place to work in high school.
Yeah.
It was just pretty cool. But it always held something for me there.
Yeah.
The Star Plaza Theater in the 90s, that was, the acts that were coming in, they were either on their way up or on their way down. Never got top billing, folks,
Right.
but on their way up.
I saw the Monkees there.
Yeah?
Yeah. And Jerry Seinfeld doing stand-up once.
I know Jerry Seinfeld was there. I don't know that I ever saw him. But on the seats, they had little tiny light bulbs under the row letter. Mm-hmm. And so they had this melt cap over it. So the very last concert I went to there, I went and
Did you go to the last concert?
The Oak Ridge Boys, the last.
The very last one?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you meant your last one or the last one. Yeah.
No, it was the last one of the year. And so I took the sign off. It says row S.
Nice.
For my last name.
Awesome.
I thought that was kind of cool. And that's sitting on the garage.
My cousin, the day after the last concert, we were trying to get some footage in the room. And he went to the door and was like, my wife was at the concert last night and she dropped her phone. And so he goes in there and he's got some shaky footage of that, because he's they kind of stood right by me as I was looking. And,
Yeah.
So did you have one of the banners?
Yeah.
In your office?
Yeah, I have one of the banners. Got a bunch of stuff from there. There's a bunch of the little club cards.
Yeah.
They were just in the back
Oh, we
offices.
went and we took the parking sign.
Oh, yeah, the
Long
parking
afterwards,
sign
I was
is
like,
on
the
my...
sign's still there.
Yeah, the sign was still there years later, and I had documented the whole teardown.
Yeah.
There's some pretty cool footage of us in the building when there's it just ends because it's been torn off.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there was one with Tony, and then Lena's slob squatting on the edge from the inside. It was ridiculous.
That was such a...
I got to go in there with Jerry Davich on the last day it was open.
Okay.
They did a tour, and
Yeah.
they're like, please don't film anything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. So many. And that's, part of this whole, oh, you should document stuff was because, I mean, I've got so many memories of that place. And some of them are old memories now, 25 years plus on. So those memories are starting to get conflated between, are they my memories? Are they memories that I know, my mom had that she told, some of those are kind of blending together. But yeah, I mean, she had, so these acts would come in and they'd come in on tour buses and they would rarely have cars there. So they would need to just go around places, hey, we got here, we're done, I want to go around. Mm-hmm. And so, for a decade, our family car just drove everybody around.
That's awesome.
I mean, just all over. From, she said, Randy Travis wanted to go work out at Gold's Gym, so we threw him in Gold's Gym and went over there. Somebody else, she, if they needed something, she'd take them over. What was that musical store over there? Broadway music.
Broadway, yeah.
She'd take them over there if they needed guitar strings and stuff like that, or just run them over to the mall and walk them around.
Well, there was so much stuff around there at the time, too.
Yeah, it was really a different place than it is now. And
it's such like a dead lot now. It's so bizarre because it was like the hub of everything. It felt like
it was. Even goofy things like things are. What do I remember? Winona. Her dog liked a Whopper at 8:00 at night before bed.
Okay, so, who doesn't?
Yeah. If the camera were because you'd think that I liked it too, but yeah, she so she would run. While Winona was up on stage, she'd run over to Burger King, get her dog a Whopper. What I found interesting, that my mom, again worked there for a decade plus, and she just became numb to She was not a woman to get starstruck.
Right.
She would.
And after a while, you'd be over that anyways.
Yeah. And she would get into arguments with some folks. I know the stories. I'll never say who they are ever on camera. But, she would. There was one that I remember was getting really kind of lippy at her. And she was like, really, sweetheart, I just steamed your A-cup bra. Leave me alone. Just go back, and just one of those like
amazing.
Who are you?
Right.
We all put our pants on the same way. You're honey, you are at the Star Plaza Theater in Maryville. Calm yourself a little bit. But she wouldn't get starstruck, and there was I'm forgetting who it was now, but some pretty big country singer at the time. Which again, this is '90s country. This is some big stuff. She was driving around and. I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy's name is the band too. And she's like, "Oh, are you with the band?" And he said, "I'm so and so." Like I'm the lead singer. She's like, "Oh, that's nice. Where do you need to go?" She's just completely oblivious, didn't care. And on some fortunate occasions when she needed more help, she would have me back there, and that was fun. I remember one particular time, Tommy Lee Jones. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that.
No, you can't say Lee.
Lee.
Not on YouTube. It's a banned word.
Yeah.
Especially not with Jones after it.
Yeah.
Once you might get away with it, but don't do it again.
Yeah. This was right after they all got out of prison for something. I don't know. And they were something about their probation.
Wasn't that the movie The Fugitive?
No. Who am I thinking of? Who's the guy I'm thinking of? The Motley Crue guy.
Oh, Tommy. Like the one with Pamela, it was Tommy Lee, I think.
Yeah, Tommy Lee. Okay, so no Jones then.
Yeah, no Jones. See, I told you can't say it all together.
This is how much I remember. So everybody was on probation. There was no alcohol involved in. I'm just in high school, but I remember I was like, "Oh, this is going to be pretty cool. I kind of want to see this guy because this was again, they were having some legal troubles and all that stuff. And I thought, this is kind of cool."
I was like, I don't remember Tommy Lee Jones going to prison.
Yeah. So Tommy Lee is that?
Yeah,
it's just Tommy Lee, right?
It has to be.
And so I'm walking around, and I had this big like metal basin that you would just put like pop and tea in and ice, and it'd been out for a while, so it was just all slushy, like half ice, nothing left in it. I turn the corner, and he turns the corner, and I just like empty it on him. And I remember I was so mortified that I did this because I thought this dude is just like this may have been like one of the first couple of shows after,
So you're thinking he might still have a shank on him or
yeah,
something.
I'm thinking, oh, here I go. And yeah, I remember nice as could be, but so many stories. George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars, which was a wild show. We're all up there, and some of these folks, they'd be fine to sit with you and eat, and other folks were just like, no, I'm,
Right.
Yeah.
my name's on the marquee, and like, whatever. He took the tablecloth off of the table, asked somebody for some scissors, put it on, and that's what he wore to perform.
What?
Amazing.
It was wild. It was wild. So I don't know how we got on that. Oh, we were talking about random shit that we've stolen from Lou Wallace in the Star Plaza.
Yeah.
Recovered.
Recovered.
Yeah, I call it recovered. If they're tearing it down and they're just going to put it down with a bulldozer,
Yeah.
that's free game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's where the chairs came from on the front porch. Those are Lou Wallace High School auditorium
Yeah, I
chairs.
was wondering about that. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That was fun to carry down 3 flights of stairs and throw over a fence and put in the back
oh
of
my
a truck.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I don't even know those things.
Well, you just haven't seen that episode yet.
I haven't.
Are you behind on the family?
No.
So here's
100%.
Do you watch everything that?
Ha!
Do you
Not
even
as
know
not
that he
as much
posts
as
this
I.
stuff?
I do know that he posts. I'll go and like it or heart it, and then one day I'll.
No, what usually happens is
Sympathy.
what usually will happen is that she'll find an episode where there's something in it where she thinks I put in something that I shouldn't have put in of her, or just whatever.
Like, why do you
and then
grab me in the morning in my
just
robe? What
randomly
am I-
she'll comment on that one, and I'm like, how did you even see that? You don't watch any
We're like,
of
take
them.
this down right
Yeah,
now.
she'll text me. She'll be like, take that episode down. I'm like, I'm not taking it down, man. Nobody's freaking watching. Stop nitpicking it. But no, you would think she would love all this stuff. Someday she'll love to go back and see like our courtship. I think will be really fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she likes watching all of the stuff.
I do when they're short, not like 20 minutes long.
It depends. Some days are long.
Not like so. 20 minutes is too long.
I mean, if I'm really into it, sure.
Is it?
Right.
Is it in a
But are you talking like a vlog?
or
I just scroll past it. Typically.
dude? Are
Yeah.
you okay?
I'm getting by. I'm not
I got a
great.
feeling there's going to be a very sad vlog tomorrow.
No, there's no vlog tomorrow. I don't even have one
That's
tomorrow. I
funny.
got nothing scheduled.
No,
I'm
some of
gonna
them
shoot a
I'll
wedding.
watch them.
Yeah.
Huh? What was that?
The ones that I want to watch, I'll watch.
Yeah, someday she'll
I
watch
think,
them.
you
But
know, so like I said, I've got about a dozen episodes on now.
skim.
I've still never asked Becca if she watched them. Now I know she'll watch like little. She may like watch a little snippet here and there. I don't know, and I don't. I don't say this in a bad way. I don't know that it captures her attention.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, they're an hour and a half of me just talking.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know that Michelle wants to hear every thought about that I ever have.
Yeah.
No.
She doesn't. I think it's like you can know too much about somebody, and whereas like I want to know everything, and if she did a vlog, I'd watch the shit out of it because I want to know all of the thoughts all day, whatever.
Well, I'll be watching something and I'm like, why are you crying right now in this episode?
Because it's documenting, as we've said a
I
few times
know.
here, documenting is
I
what it
know.
is to me. It's
Yeah.
not performative. It's not like, oh, I need to cry right now. It's, oh shit, I'm crying right now. Let me throw that in there just for a second so I remember.
Yeah.
Not,
And that's
not
stuff
for
I would
empathy.
not ever do. Like, I'll be like, certain things are probably,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's too much. Like, I get it. But also, I'm like,
Oh yes,
more.
it was very tricky in January doing those vlogs. I was
I
very.
was watching back and I'm like, you put this in there in the hospital? He's like, you're just whirling out on the wheel. I'm like, oh my God.
Like, I was so careful those days not to be inappropriate of what I was filming. No conversations that were too much information. But like, I still wanted to document that we were at the hospital or that we were leaving or
Yeah.
that, you know, whatever. And so, but she was mad about it for a couple days.
There's like a shot. I'm just there in this like hospital gown, and my hair's all greasy.
But
and there's,
she
like, a
knows
side
I'm
angle,
filming at the time
And I'm
and-
like,
and is
why is this
participating.
shot in there? Like,
I'm like, did you think I was going to throw that clip away? Like, we're talking next to each other, you know.
Yeah. Now that I watched that was a very powerful thing.
Are you talking the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and I think the story and just how that was documented. So
yeah.
you know, I don't talk about I mean, I've mentioned her 3 dozen times. I mention her on the air all the time. But I don't talk about Beck too much because I try to respect that privacy of her. I think I mentioned earlier, when we first got married, I was a social introvert. And now and sometimes I feel like it was a bait and switch for her. Whereas like, wow, 10, 15 years on, oh, now you want to run for office. Now you want to be on the radio and you want to do all these things. And
No, Michelle met me as a daily vlogger and somebody who explored abandoned buildings. So there's no excuse for her to not think that came with the package.
I knew exactly.
So I'm always, excuse me, I'm always very mindful of what I talk about in terms of us and her. Same thing with Liam.
Okay.
Is I'm 100% out there. We adopted Liam. It's an amazing story because we went through all of those trials and roller coasters that your podcast was about.
Okay.
And we tried for 9 years.
Wow.
And at some point, it was just like, when you have these, ectopic pregnancies,
right,
all these things, it's like, at some point we just decided we're not going to, I'll be honest with you, there was like 4 people who knew we were going to adopt Liam. We went out to his bio mom lives out in the Vegas area. We flew out there to get him and to bring him back. And until we got home with him, we didn't tell anybody.
Wow.
And we kind of we actually, speaking of bits, we kind of made a bit of it, where it's like, well, what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. Here's Liam.
Right, surprise, yeah.
Here's our kid. But even with him, I'm careful because it's, and that's actually where Dad Bod walking started. I was working from home, and Becca was off working, 8, 10, 12-hour days. And so I was, in many ways, I was like the stay-at-home parent for a while. And I thought, Dad Bod walking, this is just my way of documenting, or just like, and unlike her, I don't know that I ever held a baby before Liam. And so it was all, I was just trying to figure this shit out. So I thought, I'm going to document some of the weird stuff. I took to being a father. It was amazing. It's the best thing that ever happened. I highly recommend it to people that, if you want a kid, I tend to joke and say, go buy one. I did.
That's, I mean, rent a kid?
Without getting too detailed, what is that process like? Because I always felt like it was going to be, you have to jump through a whole lot of hoops, and they're over-examining your life, whether you're good enough to do it. And it's like, there's so many kids. Why would you not just be like, here, take one?
I know. So I joke about a lot of things just because humor is how I cope with things.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. It can either be tragic, or you can make comedy out of tragedy.
Yeah, because,
It's tragic either way.
In many ways, life is just dark and awful and miserable. And if you don't have a positive outlook, it will always be dark and miserable. And so, we always try to make light of it. I do. And so, for some reason, adoption is still a taboo in many ways, just even, and I don't know why, but it just is.
Yeah.
We live in a world where you can quite literally identify as just whatever you want, but then it's, adoption, it's, I don't know.
I feel
why.
like there's this weird thing where it's like, well, what's wrong with you? Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's these weird judgments on it versus what do you mean? I just want another kid and I don't want to do it,
Yeah, and it's
there's these kids just sitting there waiting to have somebody love them. I mean.
Yeah, and so the process that we went through is we had.
Shit. Hold on, we have to pause for 1 second. I'm going to lose.
A power plug for
Oh, really?
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
The battery itself.
Yeah, the dummy battery.
Battery with
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's.
I just decided we normally do 2, and I have 2 dummy batteries, but I don't have a third, and I busted out the GH5 to go with the 2 GH6s today, and I'm like, well, shoot, one of these is going to not have it, and of course it ends up being the one that's tied to the audio.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're going to go out here for a second.
Okay. So ours, we had just through happenstance. I'm not being light on. We just don't necessarily say how, but we had found Biomom and that she was interested in putting her kid up for adoption, and so for us it was a private adoption in that we already had Biomom, everything we had agreed to, so it was just an Indiana attorney writing the stuff up, a Nevada attorney writing the stuff up, and now that's not to say it didn't cost 15, 20 grand because it was Indiana and Nevada, we had to pay for everything twice. It was just it was tough.
What's sales tax on a kid these days?
Oh, 7.5%. It was rough. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Couldn't get a better interest rate?
No,
Come on.
no. Had to bring him in through Florida to knock a couple bucks off of that thing.
Yeah, you don't have to pay income tax.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Had to stay 3 weeks in Wyoming. So the 2 main ways are to either go through the state, which those are the kids that the state has taken custody of in some form or fashion. So those kids are going to be in foster care or, however that may be. And then the other one is to go through an adoption agency. That's where it gets very expensive because you almost say, let's say you 2 now decide tomorrow, hey, we're going to go through this. We want to go to an adoption agency, ABC Adoption Agency out of Crown Point, not a real place, just saying. Well, you will basically go and they interview you, you put in all of this information so that a prospective biomom out there would look and, I want these guys here. And to do that, actually when we did, I think they called it a Facebook, but it wasn't,
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that because then they're also doing that. So you're like, you can get as specific as you want to be. You can say, I only want a newborn whose parents are both, both have blue eyes, because I want to make sure. I mean, you can go as specific as you want, knowing that you're probably going to wait longer.
Yeah.
Or you can say, I just, give me one.
Yeah.
Right.
And there are some, you can get specific in a way of, some kids, end up having various medical needs or complications that,
And then what's the return policy on that?
90 days.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it was.
Sorry, we got a lemon.
We got a lemon. Give this one back. And yeah, so there's a lot of unknowns with it, but they do. I always say that I know I'm a good parent because the state actually had to come into my house and check out my house and certify me that I could have a kid. You got all these other people in town.
Well, I was going to say Child Protective Services have come and done that for me a few times. I have running water and food in the cabinets. They're good.
Running water.
I am allowed to spank them if they get out of line, turns out.
Yeah.
So don't ever call Child
you
Services
tell
because
me.
it gets your butt whooped.
I know,
Yeah.
that's right. I remember that.
How about you tell her that?
Yeah, they were so funny. When they come and they do the inspection, they try to be nice about it, so they always excuse themselves to the bathroom. But it's just a ploy to flush the toilet and make sure that you have running water.
Yeah.
Here, so they would, you had to have a fire extinguisher on each floor. I remember that one.
Do we have any fire
We
extinguishers?
don't.
Yeah, I remember that. They had to.
Dang, I was just doing electrical work the other day, too.
Shh, they're going to get the county on us.
Yeah.
The deck.
Yeah, that'll be the next doorbell ring
I
right now.
Son of a...
That's the 4th viewer right now is DCS.
I remember they came here one time for whatever BS stuff with, who. And when they showed up, they're like, why are we here?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember
Well, first
that.
of all, that felt a little weird to me, like them saying it that way. Like, What?
Like, what do you mean? Why are we here?
No.
Oh.
The idea that we can't be bad people because we have a big house or something. Like that was a weird dynamic. They were like, what are we even doing here?
Oh, you're fair.
Because
fair.
like, what kind of judgment is that? To be like, you have a nice house, so you must be a great parent.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that, but it was a weird assumption to make. And like, pfft, what are we even at this place for? What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I,
Odd.
So obviously that private route is far more expensive because now you're paying an agency to do this. Now there are
Wait, private route, isn't that the? I thought the private was like you just finding somebody.
So legally they're both considered private.
Okay.
One is just we found the parent as opposed to
But is it less of a fee if you find the parent?
thousands and thousands.
Okay, I imagine.
Dollars. Honestly, now Liam will be 10, so probably to the tune of $10,000 to $12,000 less. And so our joke at the time was, when we thought, well, maybe we'll, adopt another one. I said, I'm just going to post online. Any women of ill repute, if you are pregnant, send me a note.
Dude, for real? That's so smart.
I mean, and I'm not joking when I say it was 10 to 12,000 just to go through an agency, on top of all the legal fees. There are some incredible tax credits though with it. After we adopted Liam, we didn't pay taxes for like 2 years because you get, I think the feds are up to maybe $15,000 or $20,000 that you just get back as a credit.
Yeah, I mean they hook you up for doing that.
Oh, the child tax credit? Oh, that's different.
But you'd get
the child tax
Adopting
credit.
credit.
There's the adoption tax credit, which is just money straight back at you. And so
Is that why my neighbors growing up always adopted random children?
Probably.
They're always these random little.
Did they have a lot of yard work they need done?
No.
No?
No, it was just like random little kids, and I'm like, they're like, we got a lot
Yeah.
of money.
So, and then the ones with the state, the problem with the state, I think, is the perception. Because if the state has them for a reason.
Right.
Parental rights have been terminated for a reason.
Right.
Was the child involved in that?
Right.
Or were they not? Or are they a victim of circumstance, or were they a part of it? You don't know. And
Oh, they don't tell you that stuff? There's not like there's a one sheet on each of these kids, right?
yeah, there is.
Okay.
And actually, right now, you can go onto Indiana's DCS website, and there is a Facebook, and I don't mean Facebook.com, but a Facebook where you can scroll through all of the children who are up for adoption,
Yep.
their faces, their stories.
Interesting.
I found it
but-
before. I was just curious
but
looking at it.
This is going to sound awful, and I have no other way to say this, and so
I'm in.
forgive my ignorance.
Brace yourself, audience.
You know when you're looking at a house, and it says that,
Yep.
oh, this house has good bones. Well, you know that there's something wrong. Or, oh, there's a lot of character in this wood, meaning, yes, probably because it's, old. And it's,
Yeah,
all
she's
of
got a
those-
great personality.
Yes, yeah. All of those, like, buzzwords.
Then
in
Michael's
real
like,
estate.
would she capsize a canoe?
yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Oh, like when you go to the Humane Society and you see like not good with children, bites. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but-
like, ooh, I-
Yeah, but that's phrased negatively. He's saying they phrase it in a positive way to hide it. That's why, like, Michael was sold her by Phyllis, going, she's got a great personality. She's lovely and happy, and
Yep.
like she's saying all the positive things and leaving
Yeah.
out the.
That's really when you read that, and there's some. I mean, they're not going to put these child's horror stories out there, but
right.
if you read between the lines, it's like, okay, this kid was perhaps a victim of some type of abuse. And, on one hand, that can be very daunting if you guys are looking to adopt, or anybody's looking to adopt, because, that takes a lot. But then on the other side of that, you think, oh my God, who needs a good, stable, loving home more than somebody
that's had a messed up
these issues?
Yeah,
And
that would almost be like that same thing of like helping out people when you can, like it almost not like charity. I don't mean for it to sound like that, but like there's that, that buzz you get when you do something nice for somebody that you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like I do that stuff for me because it makes me feel good for having helped.
Yes, and if the only selfish bit of that is, it feels good to take what I've been given and give that to someone else, okay, that's not a bad way. I'm okay living in that world where, if I have 3 of something and I only need 2 and somebody needs 1 and I give that and nobody ever knows, that's not a bad place to live.
No, I love that kind of stuff. I'm always passing along old electronics to people like, yo, you need this? Here, I got 4 of them laying around. Just take that.
And so that was
that could be a really rewarding thing, I could see,
Yeah. For a long time we said, you all like the baby gear. So the pack and play, the baby Breeza, right, called the baby Craig, whatever they call it now. I always said,
Baby Craig.
When I'm done with that gear, I want to be done with it. So we had like this window where it was like, well, adopt another one. We met Liam on day 1. I mean, he was born at like 2 in the morning, and we landed at like 10 in the morning. Wow. So I mean, we were there for day 1, and that was a special journey that we went.
You're never going to get those first 10 hours back, though.
I know, right? We've got like 3 pictures, and that's all I've got. So that's gonna be his teenage angst.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Where were you?
Where were you for those first 10 hours?
Yeah. It was just
you abandoned me.
Yeah, it's just me and the NICU. Yeah, all swaddled up under that billy lamp that they put you under.
Right.
But we've thought,
so you're done then, basically.
Well,
you said you had a window.
There was a window for having another baby.
Okay. God, you could deprogram them so much easier, though. Or just program them.
Yes,
rather than having to deprogram.
I always said this is like the.
I have a hard enough time with the kids coming back from their moms, deprogramming that stuff. So I can't even imagine they grew up and they're 10 and they've got all the habits from their parents, and now they're coming into our house and have to try to get learn the way we do it and learn that they can trust us and that what we say goes, and that could be very challenging, but also fun too.
Yeah. Well, and so. What ended up, I think, stopping us for a while is Liam. Again, I'm always very careful about what is Liam's story right now. He's only 10, or he's going to be 10, is my story. But how much of it is his then to tell when he wants at some point? But Liam was one who he didn't talk until he was about 4.5, almost 5. Wow. He didn't speak.
Autism spectrum?
Yeah. Yeah,
my son is on autism. He didn't speak until 5, 6, something like that, like full sentences.
Yeah, and now he's just jibber jabber all the time. But so we had, for years, our therapy bills with him were frankly more than our mortgage. And so it was like, we just, you can't pour from an empty cup. So we just couldn't. So we had like an artificial deadline on a baby, but then also all of our resources were going to giving Liam everything that he needed.
Right. Just couldn't spare that extra time, energy, etc.
Couldn't do it because we knew certainly, if you adopt another baby, they're yours. You do everything for them. And what if we had another Liam? I mean, we simply wouldn't have the resources to do that, and so it just wouldn't have been fair to whomever. But you get these kids in the system, quote unquote, now who are going to age out, and it's like again we just said the world is a mean and awful place. You don't think a 15, 16, 17-year-old needs a home? To just
where they could then know from then on that you got this family for the rest of your life, not just till you're 18.
If you're going to age out at 18, and you get all sorts of through the state, you can go to college, do all this stuff. How about if you're 19, knowing that you have a place to come home to at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, right.
I mean, and so I wouldn't say that it's.
Oh, your window's not closed, you're saying?
Yeah, I would say the window's probably closed for a baby. But for something else, I don't know.
Okay. My window's still wide open. I mean, I got a 21-year-old. She'll be 22 in March.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to hit the reset button anytime.
Yeah.
Josephine.
Yeah, we got a lovely niece.
We do. But there's something about it. Like, I want Michelle to experience the first hand of motherhood. You know what I mean? Like, she's a great stepmom, but like it's that, I don't know, because you weren't there at the birth thing, I guess. But like when you first see them, you're just like, there's something that changes in you that's like.
There was a lot of, there's that, again, a wives' tale or whatever you want to call it, where a woman becomes a mother when she becomes pregnant, and a man becomes a father when he holds the baby.
Yeah.
That's been out there. And again, we joke to deal with it. Well, I'll often say, Becca drank the entire pregnancy. For people who don't know that Liam was adopted.
Yeah,
she drank the entire pregnancy, not a problem.
I love
that. And so there are some, just like the experience that you guys went through, there's a lot of things that you have to wrestle with on your own to say, okay, what is motherhood to me?
Right.
And I think for, society says that, motherhood is you become pregnant and you go through whatever the traditional, in your head, what is traditional? I mean.
But I think it would be different if like, we, adopted a newborn or something like that, that she would have that same experience by jumping in at, River was 4, I guess?
Met her at 4.
At 4. I mean, we got married when she was 7 or something like that, but Michelle never had that, like, that transition moment of like, oh shit, my whole world just flipped and now it's all about this kid. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing. It's just, it's hard to do when you're walking into, there's already kids here kind of thing,
Yeah, so at 4.
So for her, I want her to have that. Yeah.
And it doesn't
starting in season 4.
And that's not to say that you don't catch up, but like we said with.
Well, and the lack of time, too.
World building.
Yeah. Some of the world building.
Is that something may matter in season 4, episode 2, that you're like, okay, this is cool, moving on. No, but it ties back. But, and then does it really matter? Because, I don't know. Until I adopted Liam, I know my worldview changed on that. And it changed for me, but in a silo, in that because I knew it changed for me, I now know that everyone else has a different siloed story that they can have change for them. So whether it is people who choose never to have kids, people who aren't able to have kids, people who have whatever their own journey is on it, so long as you find happiness through it somehow.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
But now I will say that I would take a second mortgage out on the house just to bottle feed Liam one more time.
Yeah.
I would. I get, the memories that pop up on your phone. And there was one a couple weeks ago, and it was just me and him in the chair, and he had a blanket on him, and he was just passed out. And I was sleeping. Someone must have just taken it of us. I was like, what I wouldn't give for one more.
Yeah, because those are the easy days of it's not the easy days of parenting, but for me, I find them to be the most enjoyable the first couple of years. Like, before they start looking at you like, okay, what are we doing today? And what you have is not interesting, or I have a hard enough time managing my own day-to-day, like what am I doing today, let alone what are all 3 children going to be doing today, and I'm supposed to be planning this? I got nothing. When
he was little, something I lived on was...
Like, I love the early when you're just like sitting there, you're just watching TV or something, they're just laying on you and they fall asleep and you're like, oh, I can sleep for a few hours?
Yeah.
Like, that's the joy.
The days were long, but the weeks and months were very short.
Yeah.
Some of those days are long, but and I was entirely unprepared for how fast it went.
Oh my God, it's unbelievably fast.
The days were long, but now Liam will be 10 next month. He's in 4th grade. He goes to middle school next year. I told Beck the other day, I said, he's closer to driving a car now than he is, in the rear view. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And
I'm ready to hit that reset button. I'm ready to have full control of a child again.
Yeah.
That may sound very weird, but like to not have it be tainted by other people's opinions that I wouldn't necessarily push on them,
Right.
worldviews and things like that, where it's like, it's got to be tricky for her to see, because I at least knew my ex, whereas like she just came into it at the end of my marriage, the end of the marriage. So it's like, it's got to be difficult for her to try to rationalize like some of their behaviors. And like, I could see that being like you know what, I'm just going to step back from this little aspect right here because I don't even know what's happening right now. So I would love to give her that.
Anybody with any personality, there's a million strings around all of us. And it's like, okay, if I pull on this thread, I wasn't here for all of the weaving of it. So what does this all mean? And that's
so in that sense, I want us to have a kid together, where whether it's
mess them
adopted
up
or
on
not.
your own.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Is at least then you can be like,
I did that, yeah.
Yes.
that's me.
Yeah, because like remember Angel and Lewis at Griffith or at the
Central Market?
Central Market, yeah.
Blues Fest, we were right with them.
Oh, Blues Fest, yeah, and a band's playing, and Lewis is like, "This is the worst version of," and he says some classical music song I've ever heard. And he's like pointing out the bad stuff in the music, and Angel's a conductor.
Yeah.
So like he's just picking up. I'm like, you did that.
Yeah.
You did that.
But I like to consider myself an adoption advocate. Because for me and my story, it completely changed my life.
Yeah.
It really did. I didn't realize. Now again, that's my story. So I wasn't. What I say? I didn't come in at season 4 with somebody. So and like I said, that it changed. So everybody has their own version of what motherhood is.
Right.
But for me, I didn't realize how listless, unmotivated, directionless, rudderless that I actually was until that we adopted Liam.
Well, yeah. Then there's a purpose all of a sudden. You're like, oh, every day I have something I have to do beyond what do I want to do, or like what's life got me bogged down with today. Oh, I got to go to work. I got to do this. Yeah, no. Above and beyond all that, I got this kid I got to worry about.
And a lot of times with myself and all my friends, we all communicate through meme because
I know what you mean.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
And now I'm even losing track of
What you were going to say? Yep, sorry for that pun there.
Because now I'm just chuckling.
That's
at
my
that.
bad.
No, it was one of those like.
For somebody with ADD, I sure can be distracting to other people.
Yes. One of those happy memes about I can't understand how guys just up and leave. Fatherhood's the best thing, and while I believe that because it was best for me, everyone is different. So so for me to go around and say, "Oh, adoption was the best thing ever," I can see where it would be really rough on some people.
Yeah, I can see that.
But for me,
Depends what you're looking for out of it,
Yeah, and I still think that if you're looking at nature versus nurture, something in me switched that without adoption would never have switched, and.
That's that indescribable thing I'm talking about. You can't really explain it, but like there's just something where it's weird.
And some of it sounds like you're high on yourself, where you're like, well, I'm much more giving now, I'm much more understanding of it. Whereas but it's not meant to be a pat on the back. It's like there's an empathy. Maybe that was the switch that I don't know. And see, this is why podcasts are good. You talk through things. I could never write this in a diary, and then at the end of it, come to some. Oh, this I grew. If I were to write this last 2.5 hours down, I wouldn't have grown anything from it. But to talk through, it's like okay, it helps.
Yeah, whether it's somebody saying something you're like, I don't really agree with that, but it helps you cauterize your own viewpoints and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah.
What are we doing over there, Josephine?
She's just having fun.
Are you just a baby?
I want to do something with you guys here. It's
21 questions.
What?
Just 21 questions. I'm just kidding.
No, not 21 questions. 10 questions.
Go on. What you got?
Each of you. So this is going to be my way. I just realized it was like 8:45, and I didn't want to keep
Yeah, he's going to take over the podcast here to wrap it up. Go on.
Well, it's like I've still got half a sandwich here that I want to finish, and then it's and I
You're good. We got Josephine till 11, so we're going to be up anyways.
and I still don't know if I'm on the radio in the morning, which I have to be there at 6.
Jeez.
That makes for a.
Well, plug it at least. Where can people listen to you on the radio?
So
They want to hear more about these topics that you'll
So
obviously be covering tomorrow.
92.3.
So I'm everywhere. If folks are interested in the dad bod walking, you can find it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
And can you give me a brief description of what that is?
Of what dad bod walking is?
Yeah.
So dad bod walking is my version of writing a book of my life. Each episode is a different chapter, which are different folks that I've just met, either directly or indirectly. Somehow my guests have had an impact on my life, and we talk about how we're connected, and if they're connected through music or arts or politics, I then dig into their life a little bit about what got them into that. What got them to the point that we
You met? Yeah, oh, God, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
And,
How did you even get here?
that's and they're not for a short listen to,
Right.
from here to Jewel. It's either an hour and a half long. We cover every topic, and we sometimes take the long way around the barn. But my goal is at the end of each one for each guest to bring their own orbit of people in, and maybe through that way somebody at some point will say, well, that was a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
So that's Dad Bod Walking.
Okay.
Again, you can find that on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and any of those. For any of my radio ventures, I am on WJOB here out of Hammond. I do the morning show with Chuck Poland now every other Monday, and occasionally I come in on Fridays. I just do the co-host stuff. I like to be I want to say Laurel and Hardy, but I don't know which one is the...
Which one's which?
Yeah, which one's which. I'm more of the Snoopy or Robin to the Batman and Charlie, I suppose. But I like doing that. I host a political show on WJOB. Again, you can find it on Apple Podcast or Spotify called Region Republicans. I do that once a month. I also host a podcast, the Town of Dyer Show, where once a month we get on there and we just talk about stuff that's going on in Dyer. Again,
Are these all video podcasts, or is it all? Oh, yeah, they are?
So you
Okay,
get-
good.
So on Apple, you're just going to get the audio of it. But if you want to go, if you're on YouTube, and you'll get to see all of this.
I mean, why would they not keep coming back?
I know, right? You'd think the numbers would be a lot higher, but
I just had to cut to you for that one.
yeah,
Gosh.
yeah. And hopefully the stream just like pauses right
Right,
there.
it's like,
So I'm doing the voiceover of you
Yeah.
fish hooked. Yeah, yes. So one thing that I always loved was watching Inside the Actor's Studio. I found it to be interesting.
Are you going to ask us those questions?
The Bernard Provost questions. Yes, I am.
I heard this on the Ricky Gervais show. They asked Carl all these questions.
And so I
help me?
would watch these, and I always thought it was really cool to watch these actors who I'd seen in TV or movie, and they're all these different characters. But for this Inside the Actor Studio, it's the actor talking about how they form and produce and emote these things on the screen. And then they always ended it, James Lipton always ended with the Bernard Provost questions. It was like his take on them, because these were done in like the 60s and 70s, I think. So he tweaked them a little bit. Everybody pretty much knows what they are. But I was always most fascinated by those questions, because I thought they were so humanizing.
It kind of gets you to the essence of a person.
It does. It's like, okay, well, this isn't, Tommy Lee Jones. We'll go back to that. Is this The Fugitive? Is this Men in Black?
Or is he Tommy Lee?
Or is he really Tommy Lee? So I always have this ready, and I thought, as soon as you're done posting this here, I'm going to tag it on mine, and hopefully my folks watch this.
So you want to ask Michelle first?
I can ask Michelle first. Now,
You want me to take Josephine?
Is it like a pass or fail?
No.
yes, and you're not doing so well.
Yeah. It's,
Now, the one thing I will ask of you is,
you want me to leave the room?
well, you don't have to.
just kidding.
If you have enough fortitude for this, I let everyone know when they're on my podcast, hey, this is how I end it. I do not want you looking up the questions, because what I don't want is church answers. Because that's just no fun.
Right.
And
Probably
so,
know nothing.
no,
No.
they're all you.
Church answers are like you found the right answer. There is no right answer.
Religion classes.
Oh no, it has no. That was.
I'm joking.
That was
I know.
So yeah. So long as you're more than welcome to say, but in your head when I ask, this is what I.
I mean, I'd like to have an answer, but I'm not going to craft some crazy
Don't
thing.
craft something in the next 30 seconds. So,
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Quiz me.
Okay, let's get it.
Is Quiznos still a thing? Sorry.
Quiz?
Okay.
No.
Quiz? No.
All right, we're up.
Did we just make that joke and she didn't?
Yeah.
Quiz?
Wait.
Quiz? No.
No.
Ha 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 ha! Knock it off.
Wow.
My dad jokes go over her head sometimes. I like my jokes to be where I'll put all of the information out there, but you have to connect the two dots sometimes. And sometimes she'll just look at me and I'm like, but this, and she's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Just right past.
I love the dad jokes.
Yeah, they're
When
my
this is
favorite.
done, I have a dad joke tattoo that I'll show you after this.
Okay.
That you will have, and I have plans for a second one that.
Okay.
Okay. First question. What's your favorite word?
I've never been. Wow. I don't know.
And it's just one word, right?
Just one word.
Like a proper word, or could it be like a
Whatever.
like
Just your favorite word.
LOL?
LOL.
Whenever I'm talking or anything, like if I don't put LOL on something, I feel like people are gonna think that I'm mad at them.
Okay. What is your least favorite word?
I love the way Josephine's staring at your screen right now.
Yeah.
Literally crickets. Sorry. My least favorite word. Do I have to have a least favorite word?
Like, what's something you wouldn't like to be called?
So here's
or
one you
hear?
can't use, but is the most often said on the podcast. Moist.
Oh, one of those. Ooh. I'm not bothered by that though.
I didn't say you had.
I know, but I'm trying to think. Can I come back to that? No, let me. My least favorite word. I don't really like. Like when I speak publicly, I make sure I'm like, I can't say Not that I hate it, but just like grammatically.
What is your favorite drug?
Ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen.
800 milligram, baby.
Wow. CVS Pharmacy is going to knock on the door next. If you were reincarnated and could be anything else, what would you be?
I don't know. I was gonna say like a flower, but someone probably wouldn't take care of me and I'd die anyway, so.
To be fair, you already died in this scenario once.
Okay, I'd be like a plant or something.
Okay.
Maybe a palm tree.
A palm tree
Yeah.
or a plum tree?
A palm tree.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like you didn't say that any clearer the second time.
yeah, no, I was like,
I'm still like, plum,
nowhere.
palm,
Plum.
Palm tree.
palm
What
tree.
noise or sound do you hate?
Ooh, smoke alarm.
Smoke alarm.
Beeping.
What no?
Oh,
What?
just when the battery's out?
Yeah, the chirping.
Yeah.
What noise or sound do you love?
I like outside sounds, but I have to define that.
I have to say, as you're thinking right now, and I don't think it'll be picked up by anybody, but there is the most perfect ambiance of crickets coming through the kitchen door.
There is.
That is just, if you're not here in this moment, you'll never realize
Right.
how absolutely just perfect,
Yeah.
and we're in the perfect space right now for that.
I like the sounds of nature.
That's
Like
fair.
outside stuff. Not that it's like one sound or something. Like
Yeah.
I can go and say ocean waves. Like whenever I go to California, it's just like I can just listen to, outside.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Medical.
Just anything? Doctor, nurse?
Nursing.
Nurse. What profession other than your own would you not like to attempt?
Wow.
Stay tuned. She's thinking.
What I wouldn't.
Right now, everyone on the internet is like, the damn thing froze!
Yeah, it froze. Like we all just stop. And
Yep.
what job would you not want to do?
Fast food.
Fast food,
Yeah.
quick service type stuff?
Like restaurants. I don't want to wait on people.
Yeah.
That sounds rude.
I know. I'm always in a hurry.
I don't want to like.
You don't have to explain
Yeah,
yourself.
Yeah, no, your answer's
Food.
good.
Yeah, your answer.
Fast food.
The beauty of these questions is your answer is your answer.
Yeah.
And your answer can change too.
Yeah.
Last question. If
Aw.
heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Ooh. Not that. Not.
No, that's it. I think that's it.
Oh, to be fair, that would be.
God's like,
Ooh.
She wants God to think she's hot.
Oh, the coming of our Lord.
yeah, woo.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Oh, so we're not going with ooh.
No, what would you want God to say?
I want him to like call my name. Well, who said it's a him?
Nobody.
God. Call my name like Michelle. You know what I mean?
Good answer.
My name. Never would have thought of that.
My
That's
name.
genius.
Say my name.
Say my name. Woo.
The wrong-
Woo. Now say my name. That's twisted.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We'll switch.
Is that what God said right before
Yeah.
she asked him to call her name instead of the opposite?
Yeah.
It's like, you've been calling my name your whole life.
Yeah.
She passed out.
I don't want to drop her because my wrist right.
Well, don't drop her then.
Yeah,
Hold
don't-
on, let me cut to
drop
your
her.
angle just in case.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
What's your favorite word?
I mean, God, favorite word. Yeah, I mean, that's like a phrase though. Like, don't ever. Like, I just say that all the time. It's don't ever. But I don't know if that counts because it's two words. Well, this is boring. It's just
Tough,
watching.
isn't it?
We're just watching me think. Favorite word. Yeah, I feel like I should have prepared for this. The answers would have been quicker. I don't know. Like probably something with a Y in it.
Then I just thought juicy, and I don't know why. Just
I was thinking something like pterodactyl. You know, like that's a fun word, or xylophone.
Doing.
what is your least favorite word? You hear this in conversation, you cringe.
Giving.
Given?
Giving.
Giving?
Like it's giving.
Okay.
You know, that new phrasing. With like, oh, it's giving. Oh, it's giving messy.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
like the new slang.
Yeah. Yeah. not very skibbity-riz of you, but okay.
Right.
Pretty.
What is your favorite drug?
Marijuana, by far.
If you were reincarnated, could be anything else, what would you be?
Man, a bird would be really tempting, just for the ability to fly.
Yeah.
Like, if you could, like, if you asked what superpower would I would want the ability to fly with nothing else on me. Like, I don't have to put on wings or a
Naked?
suit. Like, literally I can just, I'm going to fly to my mom's real quick. And I just go and I'm there.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. So a bird would be awesome.
That would be very liberating.
Yeah.
Freeing.
Feel free.
What noise or sound do you hate?
I mean, that noise Josephine was making last night was pretty on the level of noises that I hate. Eee! Like that kind of thing, where she's just like, she just found the perfect pitch.
Yeah, it sounded good reverberating in her head. And
God, it was, yeah.
You're a
So yes, like anything like a crying, but like a screaming kind of I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff.
what noise or sound do you love?
Is it cheesy to say Michelle's singing voice?
No?
Aww.
Like that, I mean, that was one of the reasons I fell in love with her. Like when she started singing, I'm like, holy shit, that voice came out of her? Okay.
Yeah, Joel.
Okay, not that one. Not your baritone.
Yeah, not the OnlyFans voice.
Yeah.
Incognito voice.
Yeah.
Right.
What is your favorite curse word?
Now, do you think that's meant like which one do you say the most? Or like it's just like, oh no, that one's the one. I don't use it that often, but it's my favorite.
Well, so I'm making a point too, because I've had a couple times people say, "Oh, let me ask you those." No, I don't want to answer them. But I've thought of that, and because there's the one that is your like default that you go to when you stub your toe.
Yeah, like God damn it, or son of a bitch.
When something doesn't happen. But then there's the one.
But there's something about cunt.
Yes.
It's the shock value. It's the fact that people do give that reaction still. I could say fuck 100 times and you would never go, oh my God. There's something about the power of a curse word, so cunt.
Well, and that is a
Sorry, I didn't mean to be looking at you when I said that. Cunt. Not you either. Cunt. Looking at myself.
So there's the curse word that, again, you stub your toe on, and then there's those words where it's a curse word. It doesn't have to be, motherfucker, because that's a curse word. It's you have earned this curse word. And I tend to think that that's one that, that one you don't say around women, but there are one or two situations where I've said it, and Beck, Beck would be the first one. If I were just to throw it around, she'd elbow me off. You don't say it. But every once in a while, something comes up. And
comes up.
Yeah, I would change mine to that then, because when I say it, it's like I mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so sometimes that's what I mean. Sometimes
not always, but definitely when speaking about other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so there's favorite in terms of most used and favorite in terms of this is something that you have earned.
Yeah.
And you get this.
Uh-huh.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
You ever see that thing where they somebody gets paid like 20 grand to go up and change a light bulb at the top of a tower?
Yes.
Yeah, that's both answers.
What you would want to do,
and what I would not want to do
for the singular payout, and then
no, I want to do it for the thrill of it, but I also know that as soon as I got up there, I would not be able to do it.
Yeah.
So like it's terrifying, but also thrilling.
You see those, they climb these towers, and they do it like, oh, these light bulbs have to be changed every 3 months.
Yeah.
And they go up there and they get paid like 20, 30 grand to go up.
Because you have to climb up hundreds of feet into the air.
saw
and you
that
gotta
one
click
recently.
the little safety harness.
Yeah.
Like I would just be so like every
shaky.
One single movement and you're dead.
Yeah.
Like that's the thrill of it that would make me want to try it. And then also the thing that would keep me from doing it, because at this point in my life, I have too much to lose. Like back when I was exploring, I felt invincible because it was like, I wasn't particularly happy with my wife at the time. Yeah. So like you were just that was my escape. So of course I'm going to do it. But now it's like, well, what if something happened to me? Then now I'm going to miss out on time with her. So like that's kind of a cheesy answer again, but
Loser.
No, can you imagine climbing all the way up there? At some point, you have to detach like the bulb from.
Forget the light bulb.
Imagine how sweaty no.
And then you got to turn around and go back down.
Yeah.
Like on the way up, you can at least just keep looking up. But on the way back down, you're up in the clouds and you're looking down through the clouds at this point, essentially. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to give a double answer there for two questions.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I mean, it'd be cool if he said doing and then was like, Michelle and everybody's over here. Like, this is your, like, kind of give me a layout of the place and like what the hell's going on there. Because I'm a type of person that needs to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know, like, what's the score here? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So if he came up and told me where Michelle was and then what we're supposed to do while we're here for eternity.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting in
great.
limbo.
Yeah.
Sorry I didn't make it.
Yeah. Like, hey, Michelle's over there, food's back there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just
Over
kind of
there.
tell me what we're doing here. Are we naked right away, or do I get to like, are we still? Do we get the toga things? Like, what's the clothing situation?
And maybe
can I
he's
wear
a prankster.
tracksuits?
Maybe he's a prankster and he says, no, you'll get the toga later. And you show up and everybody's in a
Everybody
toga
already-
and you're not. And,
Oh,
and that's
you're in a
his gag.
tracksuit.
Yep.
Yeah,
You turn
Yeah.
around, look at him, he laughs and hands you the toga.
yeah.
And maybe that's how it all starts.
I mean, at least we'd be friends then.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. Thanks for letting me do that.
Yeah. Well,
I
thanks
wish I
for
had
joining us.
questions for you now.
Nope.
Yeah, that's
You better
not how it
prepare
works.
next.
That's not how it works on our show, babe.
Yeah.
Oh,
The guest asks the questions and we
Yeah.
end the show.
And you can't just come in. We have prepared this.
Yeah, this
for-
was obviously prepped.
Yeah, for minutes.
We had this whole thing laid out
Yeah.
a couple seconds in advance the whole way.
Yeah.
So if you liked this, I don't know why you're still here all the way at the end. I mean, it's been hours, but thanks for watching.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me into your humble abode. I dig it. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so this is the part where I hit a song and we end the podcast, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do that then so we can end the podcast. See you later. Is that going to play anything?
Yeah. Don't
There we go.
Eva
Now
in
it's
the
gonna play.
place. Don't ever news on the airwaves.
Okay.
Down the street,
So
Mike
that's
in hand,
that.
see the madness.
Well, that was
Don't
fun,
Eva
guys.
spotting trouble where you wouldn't see sadness. Might chat with a stranger, twist the tail on live broadcast. Call it
Now,
Don't
some
Ever
people may
News,
say
not
it
quite
was
your Sunday
a
newscast.
website.
The city's got secrets from the bins to the birds. Spins out conspiracies, half jokes, half words. You see